I just jumped right into stream, but I want to let everybody know that I'm actually live here with Kamikaira. This is pretty cool. Your setup is pretty awesome.
Thank you.
It looks
Beautiful.
it looks very weird for my chat. Cause like I have your video muted so that I can see you,
Yeah.
but we're like looking at your chat, so I'm just gonna full screen this real quick.
Hey Max, how you doing? What's your Twitch name? I'm trying to give you a shout. I can't remember your Twitch name.
It should be the same. It should be Knows News.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I just changed it recently. It used to be Young Office Channel.
See if it works.
Should be.
Did not work.
Give me,
Let's.
give me 1 second.
Are you affiliated?
Yes.
Okay then. I was just thinking for clips, because it usually plays a clip, but if you're not affiliated, it doesn't work. It do be weird like that. It do like that sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, you do have to use the underscores to get it.
You have underscores?
Yeah, Emmy underscore knows underscore news.
Oh, okay. You didn't have it on Discord, so I was just going off that.
Ah. Yeah, I should put the underscores in for Discord.
Maybe underscore no news.
Alright, let me actually switch
There you
to.
go. They were playing just chatting.
There's a
There's the.
there's a baseball bat stuck to your head.
Yes, someone bonked me.
I see. Okay. Oh hey, it's when I was playing Chrono Trigger. I think that's the first time I played.
Oh.
It went right through. So it doesn't
No.
show up on my stream.
It just
You're,
appears.
Yep.
you're not getting the VTuber Plus screen. You're getting the VC Face screen.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
It's all good.
Oh my god.
But yeah, thank you for. I appreciate you liking the setup. It's very much just the little cafe. I'm getting it remade soon with the new redesign coming. It's getting remade.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can take this to.
Here.
That is yours.
See return. No. Dear friend. Dear no eat.
What?
Dear good friend.
See the little bitch. Little
See
bottom. Oh.
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 Oh my god.
Fight.
Oh, perfect.
It's you and him, not me. I'm not getting in between this. Did it take a minute? I have it. See what he's gonna get pissed.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
And then the Muffin Man. She's married to the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man.
I have to. The chroma key, the green.
Yeah. Be careful with chroma key now green, because you are green.
Just for you. You showed up as a big green block.
It's fine, it matches your aesthetic.
That's true. I know I was able to do this before. No
Click
BS.
chroma key,
Is that in filters?
Yes, filters. It'll be the second box, not the top box. Top box is audio, second box is visuals. Welcome to Kamikaro's Cafe. We are a tech cafe because I'm here helping everyone with their tech issues.
There we go. We're done. You're in.
No, I'm done with my issues because I'm
You have too many issues to be done with me. Don't lie.
Oh my god,
Oh my god.
You're dissing me.
Live
It's not bullying, it's character building.
live diss tracks?
Actively right.
Yeah, no, it's the roast of Mia.
Hi, Sergeant 44. Thanks for joining the stream.
What up, Sergeant? I'll give him a little wave. Wee.
Are you viewing from YouTube or Twitch? Looks like Twitch.
Wait, if he's a sergeant, does that mean he wants a bit of the ping pong hua?
Oh my god.
Uh,
Ooh.
he's pulling his cock out. No,
Not in my good Christian Minecraft server.
no, don't throw Count Dooku's sword at me head.
Oh no.
You wait, dear. I will find you, tie you up, and eat you alive. Is what Siva-chan is saying.
Call me up because you are much louder. Okay.
If they want to eat me alive, can you go booty first? You know, I want to at least have a good time through my demise.
Is that any better?
Yeah, you're fine. What was up? Do you think your audio was going?
He was my chat was saying that you are much lower than I was, so I'm trying to adjust the volume so that you're a little bit louder for chat.
Oh, okay. I am the music man. I come from down the lane, from down the lane, from down the lane.
What the dog doing? Dog. I don't know. I don't have a dog.
I'm just testing something. I want to see if I can. Ah.
Oh shit. You got hit with an ad immediately? I'm so sorry.
It's annoying when that happens, but it's a necessity.
Yeah.
Oh, Siva says booty first. Deal.
Oh my
Oh,
god, your whole
broken.
thing just broke. You just broke?
No, don't worry. No, don't worry. It's fine. See,
There you
hello.
are. You're back.
I realized I forgot to do something. Haha.
Wrong arm.
Hi, Blue Mysterious too. What? Bye?
2 minutes
mean
after you
bye?
join.
Oh.
Yeah, that is weird that they gave you the ad 2 minutes after you joined. It's usually right at the beginning.
It's very odd.
Twitch doesn't really give me much. Oh my god.
Twitch aren't the best for the ads.
They I gotta oof.
Ah, broke again? Okay, I'll just leave it.
I'm thinking about the what the dog doing guy. Did you ever see he did a response to his own meme because people wouldn't leave him alone.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I know that meme. Do you have a cat? No, I don't have a cat. I don't have pets.
She's her own pussy. Ha
Oh my god. Fox.
I have
Fox is a
lot of
part of Fox is a part of the feline community. They're still technically cats.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Wow.
Mia Katsu, true cat VTuber.
you got the did it? What time is it? Oh my god. It hit you with the first ad.
Oh, that's
and then it's about to be the top of the hour, so they started playing the ad block that Twitch is making me do. I am so sorry.
You gotta love that.
What?
Yeah, I used to have a choice between how many ads Twitch would play on my videos, but because I don't have enough viewers, they've told me I have to have 3-minute ads in order for my stream to be profitable.
I do 3-minute ads for the fact of if you do 3-minute ads, there's no pre-roll ads for an hour, so it's quite good.
What does the fox say? Fox say.
Oh, hey, it's my moderator.
I know that song though. Yes.
Yes.
Fox and a deer. This will be a meal for the whole family.
Oh man.
Have to have a family to feed for that.
Oh, I got a follow 8 minutes ago. Strawberry Wolf Cake, thank you for the follow.
Hey Max, thank you for following Emmy over here. They're awesome. If you notice, they have a really cool frog dungarees on.
Yep.
That's so cute.
The frog looks really smug because of the size of the tartars, but actually the frog is smiling.
Yeah. They're not that. It's all green. They're not that big.
They're actually green screen that big. Don't worry. It's all
It's
special
all
effects.
smoke and mirrors. It's an
All special.
illusion.
It's an illusion.
It is very cute. I got it. I actually got it from Booth. It was a free texture.
No.
I think you forgot to remove the ribbon in the middle, or is it supposed to be like that?
No,
There's
the ribbon's meant to be there.
the ribbon
like
is part of the
big
texture.
photo. I
Yeah,
was gonna
hold
say
on.
they're not actually dungarees. It's a dress. It's just I couldn't see if or not they were
Yeah.
dungarees or not. I see.
Yeah, see, it's like a
Going
whole
there now?
outfit.
Why are you going in the corner now?
They're going tiny.
So you can
Everyone
see the
bullies
whole.
tiny thing. Get it.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Oh no! Don't come back.
I heard you
There
were
is
talking
no
shit.
coming allowed on this stream. I can't talk shit. All from all the way up here when you're all the way down there.
Oh, I can't believe this. What is? Oh, I'm just seeing I'm seeing myself previously when I reached for my mouse, and it. So my leap motion does this thing, right? When I do regular hand motions, it'll just. Oh, it started doing it.
No, let's not bring up Girl Gurt in this conversation. Girl Gurt is banned. Oh, and Girl Gurt and all of its chunky goodness is banned in this stream. Thank you.
Disgusting.
I'm sorry. Did you
It's
did you say the words girl girt?
yeah. So it's an ongoing thing. So for Twitter's pleasure, we refer to certain things as gentleman's relish and Girl Gurt to cause less issues.
I see. Oh, so you do like a safer work stream.
Yeah, so it's still mature, but it's like so it doesn't come across that we're talking about sexual things. We're talking about gentleman's relish and Girl Gurt.
I do like gentleman's relish. It's very funny.
Yeah, it's got a nice texture to it.
You all have inventive ways to get around it, and I'm just bulldozing straight through it. Like
Yeah, it's got a very nice white texture with a cool salty smell. If you have it with pineapple, it tastes better, but I don't know. So you know.
I can't. I'm. Oh, okay.
Someone almost outed themselves on stream. You heard it here first. Emmy knows news. Emmy knows nothing.
Listen. I know plenty of things, but we'll save that.
Things.
You know what? You want to know what I know? You should watch my streams, because I'll save my opinions for those. Because I'm visiting. I'm with people now, so I can't be an unhinged gremlin.
Yes. You. Ow! Why would you throw the bat off me? It's bullying.
Why not?
Bad. The bad bat.
No, it's the bonk bat.
Oh, that's
See,
good.
it's got bonk written on it.
Oh, I love that it shows up in your stream, but when you move on my stream, there's like nothing attached to your head. It's like a separate.
Yeah, I tried turning it on so that you could see it, but like it was just being a pain. See this is what happens when I turn it on.
That's not very fun.
Welcome to the stream. I
Blah,
don't know
blah.
who you are, but thank you for the biddies. Thank you.
Biddies on the titties, biddies on the titties, biddies on the titties make you go around. Biddies on the titties, biddies on the titties. Ow.
Okay.
That's the way, we like it, do. No, I'm
Oh, this is pretty cool.
Tommy.
Oh no, it's the FBI.
I have a question for you. Do you
For
go
who?
clubbing sometimes?
Me?
Or no?
Did you just ask if I go clubbing, senpai? Yes.
No, sometimes.
You heard it here first. Mia Katsun called me senpai.
No, it's not a senpai. Yes, according to Twitch situation, yes, he's a senpai. Yeah.
See?
Well,
Mia called me senpai.
I mean, technically,
Go.
if we're being serious here, I think I would wind up being the senpai given the presumably wide age gap between all of us.
How old are you?
30.
It's not as big as you think. Me is like 32, right? Like 33.
What?
Wow. Just make me a MILF, you know?
Hey, listen.
No,
You
but
know,
Yeah.
that's a
no,
trend on Twitter these days.
yeah, but you may fill out the F part of MILF, but you don't fill out the first three. You know, MILF I like. Yeah, it's not something I like.
Ooh.
No, I'm
Ouch.
joking. I'm joking. I actually love me. Don't worry. Look. I'm holding them up on the pedestal. Don't worry.
Yeah, I
Rip.
want a fucking
Box.
up there, you know?
Box. So you can see over the wall.
Uh-huh.
Uh huh.
I'm 30 clubbing, karaoke clubs. No, karaoke clubs are mostly
Karate clubs. They're cool.
no karaoke.
Oh, karaoke.
Yes, that's what you call it.
And it's what the Japanese call it. And they invented the word.
Yes, yes, they did.
Ha.
So, karaoke clubs. And no, not that kind of clubbing. I meant the dancing one, booze and dancing or whatever. I never drank, so
Can me a dance?
I can.
Go on, show us the bust a move. Go on, bust a move on stream. Go on,
No,
go on, give us a dab.
Right.
You know, give us a dab.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Right now. I will come.
I can only get
What
one
was it?
arm to. I can only do it this far.
I said, hey, ha, hey. I said, wait.
Yeah, it does look like I'm doing a little dance, huh?
You can do this. It's like, hey, Maka, hey, Maka, hey, Macarena, hey, Maka, hey, Maka.
It kind of works. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the kinks with this thing.
Wait, your computer has kinks. Please tell.
My computer does love large packets of data.
Yeah, who doesn't love taking a good package of data?
Sam is 30. Who is Sam?
This is true. I am way too used to streaming with youngins. My old crew was like 21,
Wait.
22 years old.
Youngins! No,
What? No, don't worry. No, come on, me.
Listen,
don't lie to me.
I'm
You're like,
I'm
you're
quoting the
31,
chat
stop
here.
lying.
No,
Me, you're
that's
31,
not.
stop lying, man. I've seen your face. I know you are 31.
Nope. Nope.
Don't worry, guys. She's only just turned 29 for the 4th year in a row.
What the fuck?
Damn. You're getting destroyed.
Wrong numbers. Yes. I'm glad he said 29 now.
Yeah, because it's accurate.
That's inaccurate.
Wait, look, how old actually are you, B? Go on, give us a good old spiel.
I turned 27 this year.
Hey, I was close.
That's not old at all.
Yeah, I know.
No, I was close. You're closer to
And now
you're closer to 30 than you are to my age.
How old are you? Let's.
Go on, see if you can guess it. Go on. How old do I sound? Stop throwing bonks off me, Mia.
23.
Yeah, I would guess 23.
Yeah, you were right. I'm 23.
Yep.
You're a baby.
Child.
A little
I'm gonna-
baby.
Don't worry, I'll outlive both of you.
Not if I have my way.
Me a cog. Ah, they've turned on grand mode. Blah. Blah. I just realized there's some fucking like light jazz going on in the background.
You are also 30. Okay. I'm not 30.
No, me is closer to 30 than I am. That's what you mean. Yeah.
Happy birthday 27 party. I did have a fucking 8-hour stream. I'm 17 Mark. An 18 plus stream over here.
Mark, get out of the stream. You're only 17. You can't hear about these biddies on them titties. It's against the terms of service. I mean, Mia doesn't have many titties to put the biddies on, but still.
It'll be years before you can put biddies on these titties, kid.
Mia bullied me all last stream. I'm trying to get it all in now.
When? When did I bully you?
Is it?
Last time we streamed together.
Oh, good. It's working now.
Huh?
Uh?
I don't remember. What are you
Bum, bum,
saying?
bum, bum.
I remember. Sad. Wow. Hold up. What? No. Hold up. This is 18 plus stream. Get out, Mark.
I like how
Mark,
we're just
get out.
doing. We're just doing
Mark,
Tim Allen noise.
Mark, get out! You can't hear us making our noises.
You can't hear our spot-on Tim Allen impressions.
Yeah. We're not falling. We're flying.
I didn't even bully you.
Yeah, you did. Why do you sound like you're lying when you say that? Is it because you did?
I don't even.
I mean, okay, it must have been not traumatic for you as it was for me, but okay.
Bring up, Soul.
Yeah, we always bully Absol. That's normal.
Yeah, that's normal. But I never bullied you.
Yeah, because you know you're gonna get hit back. a little. Hey. Rawr.
Are you
What
done?
Oh my god.
Are you?
I feel. Ladies and gentlemen, are we witnessing flirting?
Oh my god.
Is this
No,
a
no,
flirt?
She wishes.
Damn! Ow! Oof! Ow! Oof!
He has
Ouch!
way too many partners. Stay away from me, please.
No, honestly, I am actually. My partner is probably in chat or something. I am actually
that's cute.
taken. I ain't a single Pringle ready to mingle.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
He's not.
I actually, my partners frequent my chat too. They're
Nice.
Your partner's what?
they frequent my chat too.
Oh, that's cool. Hello, Emmy's boyfriend, girlfriend.
both. I have a boyfriend and a girlfriend. They're married.
Hello, Emmy's polyamorous relationship.
Aw.
Trying to be inclusive. Polyamory's cool. My friend used to do it.
It's very sweet of you.
This year 18, yes, I can.
No, honestly, but no, one of my old friends who moved away from university recently actually was polyamorous. So I understand how it all works. So don't worry, I wasn't taking the piss.
No, you're good.
Unless you're into that, I mean.
No,
I know
no,
what you like.
no. I'm
But,
listen. We are on, sir.
They were too stunned to speak. They were too stunned to speak.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
How to fluster a frog.
All right. But yeah, I'm already on thin ice with Twitch, given what I cover on like a weekly basis.
Have you tried salt?
Well, then the ice would just fall through, and they delete my channel.
But if you do it slowly, then you'll sink slowly, and then you'll just slowly become more toxic until the point that they can't get rid of you, like Joe Rogan. You know, it'll just happen. Do it gradually.
My grand plan is to say something so ridiculous.
Is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
Well, no. What I actually want to do is
Let's continue. We're not taking the piss. Go.
Okay,
Just having a
so
laugh.
are you guys familiar with like any sort of online politics at all?
It depends on the nature of the politics. If we're on about online politics revolving around IRL stuff, yes. If you're on about politics, wait, what type? Just tell me what politics you're on about, and then I'll tell you if I do.
So like Hassan or other streamers like Hassan or
we're
those
talking about.
I have no idea.
We're talking about Twitter drama, Twitch drama.
No, not drama, like literal politics, like what's happening in the world government kind of politics.
Oh.
Yeah. The first half of my stream is like the driest thing ever because I'm just like, today in the news, but people like it, so I keep doing it.
Today in the news, people died. The
Yeah,
end.
that's a lot of that. But then there's
That's every
there's always like something. There's always some sort of nice thing that happened during the day though that you can like talk about for a
Viagra
little
2
bit.
comes out soon. I can't throw thumbs up. It's really shit, so it just kind of stays down. But it doesn't work.
I'm trying. It stays bent no matter how straight I put my thumb.
No, none of us are really straight. Don't worry.
But for some reason, it'll just let me like wiggle my fingers menacingly at the camera, like I'm Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts. Just
no. If you want to do menacing, you've got to do this.
It's funny. It's really good. You gotta do the accompanying noise. You gotta do the scary noise when you're trying to be menacing.
Ooh, your uncle's here to visit from out of town.
Well, we're like, I am actually gonna do the news probably later today, but I wanted to do this because I got invited to visit the cafe.
Yeah, I run this every week. We do. I'm going to start running it most Fridays, so I can actually get like a consistency thing going. And then I'm going to end up doing more collabs in games and do like some like just chatting shit. I like doing this. It's fun. We get to chat shit about people. People enjoy it because people get to watch us chat shit about stuff. You know, go do the good shit.
Yeah.
Wednesday was really nice though.
Yeah. So like me and me do a lot of shit together, and we get on. As much as I bully them and they bully me, we actually are good friends.
That's really nice.
Smelly fuck. But yeah, we're all here.
Wow! You said something under your breath. Can you repeat that?
No, I'm good. If you couldn't hear it the first time, then you shouldn't have heard it. It's all good.
Uh-oh. Stinky.
Poopy.
Oh my god.
Smelly. That's you.
Actually, no. Actually, I said stinky.
No, you're smelly.
I mean, you say that, but you're the one on the top shelf, so we can't smell you. But okay.
Oh fuck. So
just wait.
Warlock in my chat just goes, "Little pee pee poo poo man."
Oh, stinky, poopy. Haha.
You can't hide. You can't run. Don't say his name. The pee pee poo poo man.
Ow, stop throwing bonky. Stop bonking me beer. You better not shout. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm going in dry. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Every time it gets me. Every time when you say I'm going in.
But remember, kids, use lube. It's safer.
This is true.
This message was approved by Cammy and Emmy Knows News, and me and Catherine endorsed.
I like your little icon with the Nintendo Switch. It's cute.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. As you can see, they're slowly killing the bunny there on top of.
Sleep. I have work tomorrow. Okay. Sleep well, Mark. Bye.
Have fun at work. Bye. Have fun at your 17-year-old job. Bye.
You can do it. Unionize.
Good. You got this. You remember, work for the state, not for the people.
The what? Wait a minute. Listen. Wow.
No.
Listen, I'm gonna start playing the Russian national anthem right now.
No, you can't play the national anthem. And when I say like, you know, work for the state, not for the people, that's because I'm English and we own most of the world.
This is true.
You know what's funny? Russia when they invaded Ukraine was like, we're just taking back our old land. Second we heard that, England was like, say what now? We're doing this now? Is this the thing?
No.
You wanna go? You wanna fucking go?
Yeah, ravioli. You know, revolution yoli. You know.
Revolution you only.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. No, don't worry. Everyone's gonna be safe. The only people will invade are the French. We've been waiting to do it for a while
What
now.
are they gonna do? Give up?
No. They will hold us back behind the barricades of debt and baguettes. It won't work. Why does Dr. Pepper come in a ball? Because his wife died. Ha.
Oh no.
No,
Oh
that was my
no.
chat. That was my chat telling the joke.
Oh jeez. Bro.
That was really good.
Oh, real quick, I want my chat to know because I didn't get a chance to mention it last stream, but I activated TTS, so if you donate above $5, your message will be played on stream.
By me. I will say whatever you. I will say. I also have that on my thing. It's mine's also like $5 and. It also I have a redeemable. So if you subscribe, you get to use Ivy. You get to talk through Ivy. Ivy's my chatbot who sits on top of the table and is the cutest thing in this room.
Yep.
Kami is the
I love that
TTS
moment of
voice.
yours.
If I could get a database of Kami's voice, I would definitely make it my TTS voice.
What's the difference between hungry and horny? Where you stick the cucumber. Ha ha ha. Anal.
Oh.
Carly's are getting bad. Carly's are getting bad jokes, man. What type of... Oh, what animal needs oil? A mouse because it squeaks. Aha.
That was actually pretty good.
Ivy is the VTuber, yeah, exactly. Me, I'm not the VTuber. Ivy is. I'm just here facilitating Ivy's life. She actually killed my parents, and I'm indebted to her by a blood bond.
Simply buy Miku so you can TTS. Yeah, let me just whip out the money to purchase the intellectual property for Hatsune Miku real quick, chat.
No, actually, it only costs like $3.
I thought that if you were to use those specific voice packs, you...
No, you just get the virtualizer and then you mix the voice packs together so it makes an entirely new voice.
Oh. That would kind of be funny. If I could if I could get a Hatsune Miku type voice and it just says like poggers when people subscribe.
Good night, 17-year-old child. Bye.
Good night, the babyest baby.
I'm gonna get banned.
Miku, you.
Why would you get banned? Oh, no, don't worry, you won't. They can't ban you for that because the thing is, if you have a plus 18 and then you've already said on stream that, like, get out of here, you're 18, get out of here. You've already said that, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. Plus, someone would have to report you for it, which I'm totally not doing right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Wow.
Go get rid of the competition, boys.
Taking off competitions, yes.
Wow, I can't believe this.
And would anyone like some frog's legs?
Have a backstabbing friend. Yes.
I woke up in another world in a VTuber death game?
Would anyone like some frog's legs?
Please don't eat my legs.
Oh, that's the best part, you know, the thighs.
What do you call a fish with no eyes? Oh, your chat's real good.
Yeah. What about this one? I've got one for you. What do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea.
Ooh. All right. We're doing
What
puns.
do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs?
An
Still
ambulance?
no idea. Still no idea. Get it? Because it can't move.
Apparently, Miku was in an anime? Yeah, that's fine. Sometimes you gotta let it... Listen, I'm gonna teach you the art of sandbagging.
Is that like teabagging but with herpes?
Oh, God. Oof. Shit. I completely lost my train of... Oh, yeah. Puns. Alright, I've got one for you. It's a little long, but I promise it's good.
Get it? Penis joke.
Damn it. No, that wasn't even the joke.
Oh,
So
there was a way too long of a pause. I thought that was the end of it. I thought you just waited for us to click on.
no, I knew you were gonna say something, so I wanted to pause and let you have your bit. So the joke goes
Thank
like
you.
this: you got to make sure that you invite the flan to the party, otherwise it would be a pudding.
Get it? Because flan's a pudding.
Yes.
Wow! You know, I give you comedy gold, and you're just over there pantomiming, grabbing.
Then I was playing out the story, you know. You got the whole flan over here above the thighs right there, and you go right.
All right, all right, all right, all right. This is definitely not say so.
I don't know. Seriously, it is. We never actually say anything bad.
That's true.
Where say so is if like we're on the border, you know. We're
A
on
bunch of
say this is the line right here. We're on the border, you know, right there. We're on the
bunch of
border.
Susio boys, the lot of you.
Yeah, we like playing Sudoku. Yes.
All right.
Night night, Sven. Take care.
Oh
Good
yeah, it's
night,
like super
person.
late for you guys, right?
No, not for me. For her, it is because she's what Thai, Philippine, one of those countries. I always forget.
One of those here, around here. Yes.
Yeah, but she's like water Asian, like no, not like mainland Asian, like the ones that have the islands.
Yep.
Ah.
Yep. Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she goes to school in a boat.
Shut up.
I live on the east coast of the United States.
There are 3 types of people in this world: those who can't count and those who can't. Apparently it's also those who can't read. Because I misread the joke and it's now bad. I'll re-say it. There are 3 types of people in the world: those who can count and those who can't.
Right.
There you go. My dyslexia brain just went burr right there. Haha, words go burr. But yeah. Anyone got any big events coming up, Emmy?
Big events? I can't really think of any. I may have to take a long hiatus from streaming for a bit because I am gonna have surgery this month.
What surgery are you having, if you don't mind me asking?
I am getting, I forget what it's called, but it's like a surgery on my legs because I have some kind of thing in my leg that they have to take out.
Oh, yes, I know what you're on about. Fair dues, fair dues.
Yeah.
Is this like an oh I know, or is this more like you know, skin graft type stuff?
It's not like a skin graft. It's like basically what happened is my legs decided to hold all the water in my body.
Oh, you have edema.
Yeah, I have like really bad edema, so for the past year I've had to stay bedridden, which is why I'm limited in the amount of things I can do as far as VTubing.
That's fair.
But you know, it's pretty fun. I still get to do stuff, and if I import to VR chat,
yeah, oh, that's fair. Oh, Mia's got food. What she got? What food? Food. What you got?
oh shoot, I should probably eat something today. Huh?
Yeah, you should. Remember, boys, hydrate, hydrate.
Oh, got the big old gallon of water right here.
Yeah, Mia, what food did you get?
What? I already ate.
Oh, well, you just said something arrived. I thought you said your food arrived.
No, I said, Siva, welcome back. And he said, back, I was always here. So I said, hi, I was always here.
Hi, I'm Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Bits.
Hi, Mia, I'm Uncle.
Hi, Uncle. I'm Emmy.
I
don't like that. That one has a pretty bad mouthfeel. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, don't worry, I can rectify that mouthfeel for you. Very sharpish. Okay, no, I'm joking. I'm gonna stop. People keep setting me up for these really bad jokes. Stop.
Hi, Uncle, I'm Granddad. Kyle.
Yeah.
Take
Hi, granddad. I'm the old person, so you escaped again. Time to go home.
Hate you both. Thank you. I know you hate me.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you got hand tracking and you know it, clap your hands.
It still doesn't stick together though.
It
Oh
doesn't.
no,
You can.
one sec. If I clean this, watch this. I can get the stick. Watch.
Ooh.
See?
Yeah, if I do it slow, it works. But there's.
That is a slow clap.
I can also kind of do this. Let's. Is it working?
I've got them in my eyes. See?
There we go.
Oh.
I have to get the shirt clip. It should work way better. Can I please just go back to? I didn't click any buttons. Why is it? Why is my face exploding?
Feared. If you're
Blah.
feared, then
Blah.
clap
Blah.
your hands, I guess.
Blah.
What are you doing?
Blah.
I don't know who you're licking, but okay. Right now,
Oh,
all
wait,
I'm
one sec.
seeing you're licking my tails.
Oh, that's cool.
Really, really, Tommy. Really?
I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't even see your stream. I just moved my mouth.
All up in my tails. Oh, I made it slimy. Go away.
Oof.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Okay. I posted this on Twitter a few days ago, so I'm going to ask you guys the answer, okay? Top 5 goals for the next year of streaming. What do you guys want to achieve? What's the goals here?
All 5 would be earn money.
I think.
Okay, so we have the goblin up top. Right there.
I think the thing that I wanted to do is because I have a lot more time on my hands, I would love to get to partner by the end of the year.
That would be cool.
The only thing that I have to do is average 70 viewers, which is a Herculean task.
It's 75 now.
75 now? Damn. I started doing Twitch back in 2016 when it was still just 70.
Yeah, 75 now.
Oh, they're fucking with us now.
Yeah, and then they're like, it's 75 now, but you know, you might not get it even if you do hit 75. Keep trying.
You got this.
Yep, you got this.
Keep churning out cash for old Bezos.
Good old Jeffrey Bezos.
CEO, troubadour, born in 1964.
Done. Chocolate milk. Yes. Did you know chocolate milk comes from the brown cows?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Don't lie to these children.
Listen, also, there's
Look, if you oh, go ahead.
strawberry milk comes from the pink cows.
Yeah, and if you get a cow, and roll it down a hill, you get milkshakes.
With the ice and everything, you know?
Oh my
milkshake.
god. Oh, I haven't laughed this hard in a while.
Maybe don't
These
get
puns are
that,
great.
so, nice.
I am in fact a cunny funt.
Kind of. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Hey, thank you for the head pats, Kyle. I really appreciate it. Thank you for stroking me.
Stab him, Kyle. Stab him.
Thank you for touching my antlers. Thank you.
My hands.
You two playing any games now, or like you working through anything in your spare time?
I'm making more YouTube and TikTok content. I'm going because now I'm not at university. I have a proper schedule. I'm going to be like making more offline content so I can direct people to the streams and my online stuff, so I can actually become a content creator full time. Hopefully, but we
Yeah.
shall see.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean my TikToks do well, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah, I have
Your
a
TikToks are
single
really fun.
I have a single TikTok uploaded ever. I have no idea how the site works. I am
Well,
not
so
I'm not
here
hip
is
with
the
the
link to my
kids.
TikTok. There's a link to my TikTok if anyone wants to check it out. See some cool fandangled shiz. And my last one, I dance.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Ooh. Huh?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to record like an isolated sound of Tim Allen impressions so that I could play it as like a noise
No,
on stream.
you gotta do it sensually though. You gotta be like,
Huh?
what's it? You know what's really funny? So
This
I'm
isn't the
23.
site for that.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so I'm 23. Right. I'm a dude playing a dude, pretending to be an anime dude. Right. So, like, but most guys my age have fairly deepish voices, or at least like mid-level. The thing is, I can't go low with my voice at all. Like, huh, huh. That's just low as I can go. Like, hello. I can do the whole, hello. I can do that shit. Everyone can do that shit though. That's bullshit. But I can go high. I
Yeah.
can go high. And it's really funny because I used to have a redeem where it's called Nya, where it'd be like Nya Persu or like Nico Nico Nico, where I used to do my own voice actions because bots weren't a thing.
Yeah.
But everyone used to love my Nya because it used to sound really creepy because I could do it in such like a high, soft pitched voice. People were like, ugh. Like, what's it? Gotta clear the cockles, And there you go.
Gamer girl.
There we go, yeah. I will send pictures of feet for $10. Terms and conditions apply. May not be my feet.
Okay.
You could totally sell people's pictures of other people's feet online. Everyone's doing this OnlyFans stuff for feet. Just Google feet, and you've got feet.
Yep.
If you spell applesauce with a B, you can call it applesauce. Da, da, da. That's an old one.
Applesauce.
If you spell applesauce with just A's, you can call it But
Yeah, I think I heard that. So in some dog reels or something.
it's some.
All right, chat. So in about 15 minutes, you're gonna be hit with the next ad block. I'm sorry,
Ow.
I don't have any control over that. But if you want to not see the ads anymore, you can subscribe for $5 or use a Twitch Prime.
What they said.
Actually,
Hey,
use she, her
Flavor, how you
pronouns.
doing? Yeah, I know. That's why I corrected myself.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Hey, Flavor, how you doing? Sorry, I didn't get the other notification. Only got the one when you cooked. It's all good. The cooking stream was fun until I cut my thumb open.
I didn't show up till
Live on
after
Twitch.
you cut your
Yes,
thumb,
you
but
did.
it was pretty fun.
Yeah. I'm good. Came second in TFT a couple times. Nice. You're almost getting to the top. I mean, eventually you could be winning games for a change. It'd be good.
I started playing Osu recently.
Yeah, Team Fight Tactics. It's a League of Legends thing.
Team fight tactics. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. TFT is pretty cute. You
I
can kind of
quite
get
like it.
you can kind of
It's
get
like
sucked
the
into
chill
that
version
game.
of. Yeah, it's like the chill version of League. Like League's the toxic older brother.
Yeah. TFT's just down the hall and they hear their brother in their room and they're just listening to heavy metal with the door shut.
Yeah, my thumb's fine. It's just got a hole in it. It's all good.
Bleeding all the way through while cooking afterwards,
Next time you gotta wrap it before you cut.
Yeah. You don't have to pay too much attention. That's true. TFT is a very easy game. It's very much RNG as well. Like half the time, like it's just lucky.
And play. There are a lot of people playing these days TFT. Oh, so
Yeah.
he's saying that he wants to play TFT again.
And go play TFT, boy. Do it. Cocaine,
Yeah, and-
hanging with your friends.
So long as you got the time, why not enjoy a game or two? I've been
I'm
I've been playing Osu Mania in my off time. Does your hair just grow?
No.
He's poking you.
I'm being pranked. I'm being hecked on my own stream.
Can you blow your cheeks like this?
I sure wish I could. Damn, that's really nice. I made this model myself, so it's got only like the basic stuff.
Okay, I made this one as well, but this one's a Blender model, not V-Road.
I have no idea how Blender works.
It's just 3D modeling. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually really good. You can make your own models. Ow! That was directly on the fucking forehead. Whamming.
Ouch! Wow, right in the. It just beamed you with a fucking
There's
baseball
another
bat.
one. There's another one. And another one. And another one.
Another one.
Ow! And another one. And another one.
And another one.
And another one.
What do you
And
use?
another one.
Do you use
Ow!
points for this?
Yep.
Yeah,
you can do it for biddies as well. 100 biddies will kill these titties.
and he's dead.
Bleh.
Bye, Tommy.
My last words on this earth will forever be yogurt. Bleh.
Yeah, I'll redeem it. Let's see
Ow.
what happens.
That was a duck. I've been attacked by a geese. Do you know what geese sound like in Sweden? Swedish geese sound like shonk.
That's a good bit.
Do you know what a Swedish cocaine addict sounds like? Snort.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Need to go pee.
Ooh. Mikatsu pecan time. Woo! Yeah! Yeah!
Shut up.
So, unfortunately, I do have to go at the end of the hour. So I'm gonna have
That's
to say
fine.
goodbye for now. Because I have a lot of news to cover.
That's all good. Are you heading off now, or did you say the end of the hour?
At the end of the hour, I will be heading off.
So, like, 25 minutes. Yeah? That's the right time?
It's like 9 minutes till the top of the
It's
hour.
only, it's 25 to.
Oh, I meant from when we started talking. Which is
Oh,
fif-
okay, I get you.
52.
No,
Yeah.
no, I get you.
Yeah. So,
Does it want to work now? Burn. No.
what do you do other than VTubing? Like, what do you do for fun?
I play
Curious.
airsoft, so I shoot people. No, I play airsoft. It's quite good. It's like paintballing. I work for an augmented reality company, so I get to play with VR headsets all day.
Ooh,
So it's that.
that's interesting.
But stream. I like making content, streaming, TikTok, stuff like that. I enjoy doing that. So that's for the most part my hobbies.
Yeah.
I like to draw. I'm not good at it. I like to make music. Also not good at it.
I recently picked up a
But-
drawing tablet, so I might start trying to draw on stream. Not very good at it, but boy, will I try.
Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah. Other than that, I basically my whole day revolves around finding out what happened throughout the week.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's true.
You also
do
cook.
cook.
Oh, yes, I can cook. Yes. What do you mean? I can't draw, plain Ev. Don't lie. Just because we're going to be living together soon doesn't mean you can lie to the people. Why the fuck you lying? Why you lying? Oh my god. The fuck you lying? I can't lie. I can't draw. Like, I draw as good as, like, Marty McFly after the age of 50.
That's a
like,
very
not good
specific deep cut.
Yes. And it's more impactful if people understand it.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mia Cartoon. How are you doing, my feline friend?
I I forgot I was streaming my browser and scrolled through Twitter.
Oh, Emmy showed porn on Twitch.
I did not. Luckily, I don't follow any.
See, I thought I didn't, but then like people have.
That's hecked up. Hold on a sec. Can you still hear me? Oh, I cannot hear a word you're saying.
Everyone, oh, let's give Mia a shout out. Mia has Fansly. It is like OnlyFans but for virtual avatars. Please check it out. It's pretty cool.
Virtual avatars. No,
Everyone, actually, guys, wait. Everyone, go check it out except Mark.
Except Mark, no. You know what Sven did? Mark, go to Fansly is what he said.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, no, Sven.
Yeah, go do it. We'll send the links in chat later.
I was considering that for a while.
It can work. It just depends how you do it.
Yeah.
I do,
Then you can.
but I don't have no cock. I have no cock to pull out.
But you can add the cock.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to make it too big because then I feel self-conscious. But I also don't want to make it too small that it's like not believable. So I need to spend a lot of philosophical time thinking about the diameters and dimensions of the appendage.
Thinking about your own cock.
He's pulling his cock out of his pocket.
It's perfectly symmetrical in every way.
Even down to the dual mole design. Yeah.
I have no comments for that.
Then why did you say something? Because that was a comment. No, by saying no comment, you commented.
Yeah, centrist.
Look,
Fucking-
just because I do not sway politically left or right, doesn't mean I'm a centrist. Just means I see good and bad points from every political party except the Green Party because they're just
I'm not as well versed in British politics, so I'll leave that to the Brits.
The Green Party is like the vegans and all that type of stuff. Like I agree with if you don't want to eat meat, all that type of stuff, I'm fine. But their manifesto literally states everyone must eat no meat ever. And I was like, this is a bad idea. My money is made out of meat.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, walk up to a random dude, hit them across the face with a 9-inch dildo, be like, haha, would thou care for a joust? What a video.
Did you just say the green? Your chat is coming for your neck.
No, that's actually my partner coming from my neck.
Get destroyed.
Plain the Green Party is just a bunch of vegans who want to see the world be economically sound with no fossil fuels polluting our air. That part I agree about. But if I want to bite on the behind of a cow while it's still mooing, I will. It is just vegans. Okay, vegetarians as well. They can have corn and milk. Well, sorry. Okay, I didn't mean that wasn't a call out. I know you can't have milk, but they can. No, they don't eat eggs. Vegans don't eat eggs. They do not. Oh, vegetarians? Some vegetarians do. Some vegetarians don't. It depends.
Yeah. It depends on if you can ethically source them. Real quick, thank you so much for the follow.
Don't mind me just watching.
Mia, shush me 1 second. We're getting the outro from Emmy.
Yep.
No, I was just saying thank you for the follow. You know, because you followed. You also followed me, so thanks. And Zia Xenos,
I typed in
thank
suck.
you. Ah, I see. There it is. Suck in all caps. What a momentous occasion. Alright.
Yes.
But I do have to get going. Thank you so much for having me. I will try to stop by on another Friday.
It's all good. Have fun. Have fun with your news telling. Don't die.
I won't. It won't be fun. It's not fun, but it's a less bitter pill to swallow if a cute anime girl tells you what's going on.
Exactly. The world is fucked. Putin has Parkinson's, and Russia lost about 90% of their nuclear weapons at the fall of the Soviet Union, and they still haven't recovered any. So good luck to the nuclear winter we're going to have in about 20 years. Have fun. Bye.
See you later.
See ya.
This, and we'll move over to here. Okay, we're gonna move actually over here, and I'm going to pull up the news for today, not the news for last week. We're using a website like we always do. We're using Democracy Now! You're going to read the headlines. For all of you, all the new people who just joined, I'm primarily a news channel. I go over, you know what? Let's do this. Oh shoot! Hold on. I have to remove him, or he's gonna be wiggling the whole time. There we go. All right. So I do news roundup. Oh, is my chat not working? No, my chat should be working. That's strange. So why don't we get into it, and then we can watch some videos on YouTube. Dethrone him? Who are we dethroning? Who am I doing a revolution against? Also, let me open this real quick. Open a new tab for YouTube. My algorithm's all hacked. Hey, there I am! Right there! Look at that! Nifty! Also, this is where I get the music. We're doing Riot Sessions, Diana. Oh, I still have them open. That's why. I still have them open everywhere. Alright, there we go. That should fix our... Oh, yeah, so here's what's going on. Alright? The headlines for July 8th, 2022, as of 5:47 p.m. We have Japanese former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was shot and killed. Tragic. Japanese former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has been shot and killed by an assassin wielding what appeared to be a homemade gun. Abe was campaigning for a parliamentary election Friday morning in the city of Nara in central Japan when two shots rang out. The image of the attack's aftermath, I'm going to scroll down from that image because I don't know if it doesn't show any blood, but it just in case it might be TOS. What appears to be an improvised double-barrel gun. Japan's strict gun control laws prevent almost everyone from possessing firearms. In 2021, there were 10 shooting incidents in Japan and just one gun death. By comparison, the US typically records 45,000 gun fatalities each year. That is crazy, some crazy stuff. Crazy. Shinzo Abe was airlifted to a nearby hospital with injuries to his neck and heart. He was pronounced dead earlier today from blood loss. He was 67 years old. Abe was Japan's longest running prime minister when he stepped down in 2020, citing poor health. Over nearly 8 years in office, Abe remained pro-nuclear despite the 2011 Fukushima nuclear meltdown, following an earthquake and tsunami. Throughout his career, Abe tried unsuccessfully to do away with Article 9 of Japan's peace constitution, which renounced war and bars Japan from using or threatening to use military force. We have some news again from outside the United States on the Russian aggression front. Putin suggests worse fighting is yet to come in Russian invasion of Ukraine. Look at that bald, smug bastard. Ukraine's government says at least 4 people have been killed and several others have been wounded by Russian rocket fire in Kharkiv and Kramatorsk. Elsewhere, Russian warplanes bombed Snake Island early on Thursday, just after Ukrainian troops landed on the Black Sea territory, and hoisted blue and yellow Ukrainian flags to celebrate Russia's withdrawal from the island. In Moscow, President Vladimir Putin said Russian military operation in Ukraine has yet to start in earnest, more than 130 days after he ordered Russia's military to invade. President Putin is quoted as saying, "We are hearing that they want to defeat us on the battlefield. What can I say? Let them try. We have often heard that the West wants to fight us until the last Ukrainian. It's a tragedy for the Ukrainian people, but it looks like it's headed in that direction. But everybody should know that, largely speaking, we haven't even started anything in earnest." Back home in the United States, we have some more news here. United States senators... Oh, I'm sorry. They're still in Kiev. In Kiev, call for Congress to declare Russia a state sponsor of terror. In the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv, President Vladimir Zelensky met Thursday with visiting U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham. Oh boy, Lindsey Graham had time to go to Ukraine, you say? And Richard Blumenthal, oh boy. The pair are promoting a bipartisan legislation that would see the U.S. declare Russia a state sponsor of terrorism. Joining a list that includes Cuba, Iran, North Korea, and Syria, Senator Blumenthal spoke to reporters after the meeting. Blumenthal is quoted as saying, "I was shaken to the bone at the soul-shattering sight of the mass graves at Bucha today, and the photographers of innocent people with their hands tied behind their backs, slaughtered." I'm sorry, it was photographs, not photographers. Boy, I can definitely read. And the destruction of nursery schools and civilian targets. Plainly, innocent people killed. If that isn't terrorism, I don't know what is. Back in the United States, we have some information here about what the state Senate and the House of Representatives are up to. So we have House progressives seek to cut $100 billion from Pentagon budget. That's a start. On Capitol Hill, progressive Democrat Mark Pocan and Barbara Lee have proposed slashing the Pentagon budget by $100 billion. Their proposed amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act comes after Democratic leaders agreed to add up to $45 billion to President Biden's already record-breaking request this year for $813 billion in military spending. Meanwhile, Public Citizens Report members of the House and Senate Armed Services Committee have received over $10 million in campaign contributions from weapons manufacturers during the 2022 election cycle. So what this means is that weapons manufacturers are paying politicians to say that we need weapons for war. WNBA superstar Brittany Griner pleads guilty to cannabis charge in Russia. Back over in Russia, WNBA star Brittany Griner, has pled guilty to charges that could bring her up to 10 years in prison after officials found less than a gram of cannabis oil in her luggage as she passed through the customs at Moscow airport in February. Vernier's Russian lawyer spoke to reporters outside of Moscow area courthouse Thursday. Our defendant has pleaded guilty. She drew the court's attention to the fact that she did what she did inadvertently without intent. Vernier's guilty plea added to speculation that the U.S. may be negotiating her release as part of a prisoner swap with Russia. Some good, potentially good news. Biden to sign executive order on abortion rights. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen, and all those beyond the binary. Let's get this bread, gamers. President Biden is signing an executive order today to protect abortion rights 2 weeks after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The order directs Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra to submit a report within 30 days on how to safeguard access to abortion medication and emergency contraception while maintaining patient privacy. Okay, so we're going to talk about something a little bit darker now. I want you to understand that this is these topics are going to get a little more intense, okay? So if you need to take a step back, if you need to take a moment for yourself, if you need to center yourself, go get yourself a glass of water, take a break, come back. I'll still be here, okay? You make sure you keep yourself healthy and safe. Relatives of police shooting victims arrested at protest for Jayland Walker. Now, I haven't covered much news lately because things have been exploding and my life is also in the way. So one of the things I want to talk about is the horrific shooting of Jayland Walker. Unfortunately, I believe it was June 27th. Yeah, it says here on June 27th, Jayland Walker was shot 60 times. The police originally fired 90 rounds at him after he tried to flee a traffic stop. His body was still handcuffed when it arrived at the coroner's office for an autopsy, which showed he was struck at least 60 times on Thursday. On Thursday, Akron officers arrested prominent family member of police shooting victims and charged them with rioting. Bianca Austin is an aunt of Breonna Taylor, who was shot and killed by police in her own home in Louisville, Kentucky in 2020. Also arrested was Jacob Blake Sr., whose son was left partially paralyzed after he was shot by police in Kenosha, Wisconsin in 2020. Jacob Blake Sr. is quoted as saying, "We are here to take a stand because enough is enough. If this was white America and a white child had been shot 60 times by police, it would go up in smoke. But because he's brown, looks like me, 60 shots, or what did he do to provoke? Nobody can provoke someone to shoot them 60 times. No one." Federal judge sentences Derek Chauvin to 21 years for violating George Floyd's civil rights. A federal judge has sentenced former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin to 21 years in prison for violating the civil rights of George Floyd. As part of a plea arrangement, Chauvin also pleaded guilty to violating the civil rights of John Pope Jr., a black teen who was just 14 years old in 2017 when Chauvin grabbed him by the throat, hit him repeatedly in the head with a flashlight, and pressed his knee onto the boy's neck while he was prone, handcuffed, and not resisting. Chauvin will now be moved to federal prison to serve his sentence. concurrently with his 22.5-year sentence on state charges of murder and manslaughter for killing George Floyd in May 2020. This is a bit of a divisive story, all right? Sex trafficking survivor Charstel Kaiser cleared to argue self-defense in homicide trial. Oh, this is good. For context, this woman, she was trafficked and she killed her traffickers. Basically, she killed them because they had threatened her and said they were going to kill her if she didn't do what they said, according to the sources that I've seen. And so she retaliated and fled. Wisconsin Supreme Court is allowing sex trafficking survivor Charstel Kaiser to argue in court that she was justified in killing her trafficker. The ruling argued a 2008 state law that protects trafficking survivors from criminal liability for any action committed as a result of trafficking extends to first-degree murder. Kaiser is accused of killing her white sex trafficker. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's still bad regardless of the color of his skin. I'm not sure why they wrote it this way. Randall Voller in 2018. She was 17 at the time, and he had abused her since she was 16 years old. Court records show Kenosha police knew Voller had a history of sexually abusing underage black girls and was under investigation for sex trafficking, but he remained free for months. Kaiser says she shot and killed Voller in self-defense after he drugged her and tried to rape her. Haitians demand justice on anniversary of President Jovenel Moises's assassination. I think that's how his name is pronounced. If it is not, I do apologize. It's very hard for me to pronounce names. In Haiti, protesters took to the streets of in Port-au-Prince Thursday, marking the 1 year since the assassination of President Jovenel Moise. People denounced Haiti's worsening political and economic crisis since Moise's killing and the lack of process in his murder investigation. Marcel Adeline is quoted as saying, "It seems many officials in the Justice Ministry are involved in the president's murder. We can't say who they are, but we are waiting for justice to be done. We're very well worried since there are plenty of officials said to be involved in the murder." Oh my God. Here we go. Texas Governor Greg Abbott orders state police to return asylum seekers to border. In Texas, Republican Governor Greg Abbott has ordered state National Guard soldiers and state law enforcement officers to apprehend and expel asylum seekers who cross the United States-Mexico border, a move immigrant justice advocates have denounced as illegal. This comes as ProPublica and the Texas Tribune report the Justice Department is investigating alleged civil rights violations under Operation Lone Star, a multi-billion-dollar immigration and border crackdown ordered by Abbott last year. The program has seen thousands of asylum seekers arrested and jailed, sometimes for weeks and often without facing charges. A bit of good news here in the United States. California plans to produce insulin to combat skyrocketing drug prices. California Governor Gavin Newsom has approved a budget that allocates some 100 million for the state to manufacture its own insulin at cheaper prices. This is in response to the skyrocketing cost of the life-saving medicine that has made it inaccessible to many diabetic patients. Newsom made an announcement on Thursday. Governor Newsom is quoted as saying, "Nothing epitomizes market failure more than the cost of insulin. Many Americans experience out-of-pocket costs anywhere from $300 to $500 per month for this life-saving drug. California is now taking matters into its own hands. The budget I just signed sets aside $100 million that we can contract to make our own insulin at a cheaper price, close to at cost, and to make it available to all." Hopefully this means they plan to make a surplus and spread it across the United States, because that would make things very good. Because I personally know a lot of diabetic people, and sometimes they have to budget their insulin, and that's something you should never do, and you should never be forced to do. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a bit of time here. We're gonna relax. We're gonna take a look at some videos. Boosh. Let's see. What kind of videos do you like to watch, chat? Jordan Peterson rants about millennial parents. That might be funny. I like the surfs. Do you like cooking videos, chat? Oh, it's an hour-long bit, though. I want to watch this with chat. Because gun control is important. It really, really is. So we're gonna watch some debates, maybe. Sometimes Hunter Avalone can be good, sometimes Hunter Avalone can be bad. For now, we're gonna watch this Vosh video, what you need to learn when debating conservatives and how you can resist fascism.
Hey, still sick, unfortunately. Not recording this from a live stream, not wearing pants, etc. There were a few things that I wanted to talk about, though, and it will just be me. No accompanying video or article. I wanted to talk about the threats that we face and what we can do about them. When I say we, I mean Americans. When I say the threats we face, I mean the ongoing and rapidly escalating attempt by the Republican Party to subvert our democracy and regress us into a fascist dictatorship. Um, I have received some criticism over the past few weeks for what is, in my opinion, a fair assessment of the severity of this threat. The upcoming, I've talked about this, the Supreme Court case that would allow state legislators ultimate authority over deciding the nature of elections conducted within the state's borders could mean the end of democratic federal and state government, at least within red states, if passed, and Republicans are willing to act on it, which they will, because the Republican Party basically fully supported Donald Trump, even up to and through January 6th, and continues to this day to either deny that it was a bad thing or to promote the conspiracy theory that Joe Biden actually lost the election, and January 6th was an attempt to right that wrong. I think the threats are valid. I think I can be criticized fairly for not um, prescribing good solutions to these problems. I think it's a little bit high-minded to say that anything I'm about to say is a solution. If I could provide a solution to catastrophic political problems like that, then I would probably be more than a YouTuber. But look, I wanted to talk really important. I wanted to talk quickly about something that I think is really important, okay? And it's keeping an appropriate mindset when facing really serious problems, you know? I want to relate the struggle that a lot of American progressive and leftists are feeling to one of the most tenacious creatures on Earth, the fascist. Um, like a cockroach, you see, they have a remarkable ability to weather hardship and to appear when you least expect them. Imagine the history of America over the past century as a history from the eye of a fascist. This would be a very, very negative history from their perspective. Jim Crow being repealed, the Civil Rights Amendment, gay marriage being passed, trans people being more accepted. By a bunch of metrics that fascists really care about, things have gotten better for, well, the world, and therefore worse ideologically for them. Now, in spite of all this, they have been persistent in infiltrating, police organizations, political organizations, biding their time waiting. They have been politically active and insistent the entire way through. That's because while there is a doomer streak that runs through fascism, it's a doomer streak that is designed to promote radical action. The messaging from fascist media personalities. I mean, you anything from Tucker Carlson all the way down to like the Stormfront boards is always we're on the precipice of losing everything. What will you do, white man? And of course, this language routinely inspires.
It's true. Uh, Hi, Xander. Welcome. It goes pretty well. We're going over some YouTube videos right now. I'm streaming. This video is called "Why You Need to Learn When Debating Conservative." What you need to learn when debating conservatives and how we can resist fascism. YouTube video is very quiet. Okay. Let me try and turn it up a little bit.
People to commit acts of mass murder.
Maybe I just have to turn it up this way.
Or get into politics and thus indirectly commit acts of mass murder, which is, again, by their standard, a kind of productivity. I guess what I'm saying is that in spite of hardship, there is a tendency on the part of fascists to remain persistently awful.
Yeah, it's so I think before he really gets into it, what's important is you remember fascism's like an earworm, right? It's like a song you can't get out of your head once it's kind of in there. Once the ideas kind of burrow their way into your brain, you don't even realize that it's fascism until you're a fascist. So, like, people like Tucker Carlson, people like Candace Owens, all those kinds of people, they promote these ideas and they say it's for, like the betterment of society, right? They say that what they're doing is right and what they're doing is what they should be doing because they're trying to save America. But really what they're doing is they're trying to take rights away from people. What they're trying to do is set us back because I'm okay with so here's the thing. I'm always okay with differing political opinions, right? Like, you can be a Republican and say you don't agree with me on gun control, but when we start talking about, like, well, even gun control maybe, it's hard to say because especially now in the current political climate, what's going on is basically like you have the people on the left who are fighting tooth and nail, like actual people on the left, the people who are doing direct action, like protests and things. They're fighting tooth and nail for their rights. You know, their reproductive rights. The Supreme Court recently repealed the Miranda Rights Act, so police no longer have to read you your rights when they arrest you. They are just allowed to arrest you according to the letter of the documentation. You know, there's the Don't Say Gay bill. There's all those things. Those are heinous. Those are near criminal. Because all it does, right, is like, if you look at the way that politics has been, you can boil it down to ultra-nationalist conservatives on the right versus liberals and extreme leftists, right? And while I can see the humanity in every person, I don't really understand why it's anyone's opinion, or, you know, it's anyone's business what a grown woman does with her body, or, you know, yeah, it was really hard to get it to work, but I'm really glad I got it to. It's pretty, it adds a little bit to the stream, right? But to get back on topic, basically, there are some. We live in America, right? And the concept of America is this sort of exceptionalist thing where you should have the ability to live your life the way you want, so long as it doesn't harm someone else, right? Like, so long as I don't go out and hurt other people or steal something from someone, or, you know, defame them in a way that prevents them from receiving work, or, you know, just genuinely attempt to hurt people, I feel that I should be allowed to do whatever I want with my body as an autonomous individual. This includes, if I were physically able to, getting abortions, or, you know, the fact that I have, I date two people, right? Like, I'm a trans woman, and that means that I can't, like, it's hard for me to adopt outside of private adoption, right? So everybody says the solution is adoption, but most public adoption centers are churches. So here's the way that I always explain it, right? Everybody says it's the heartbeat bill. Everybody says it's, you know, at conception. Everybody says whatever, you know, their little nuanced bit is, right? But if you have somebody, right, and this woman, she's about to have an ectopic pregnancy, which means that if she goes through with this, there is a large percentage chance that herself and the baby could die. According to some state laws, she would still have to attempt to give birth to that baby because it is a living being. Now, a doctor worth their salt would know that if you're having an ectopic pregnancy and you are going to lose the baby one way or the other, you have to make a decision to save the mother's life. Right? You have to make the conscious decision to save as many lives as possible, even if that means that you can't save every life, because first do no harm is in essence a Hippocratic oath, simply because doctors must and surgeons must, in the pursuit of doing no harm, do harm That's correct. Most times they would save the mother over the baby. However, the new precedence in states like Ohio and Texas is to attempt to save the baby over the mother. That's the legal precedent. That's what they want. So I think when it comes to like politics and things, right, you have to say there are certain things that I, as an individual who wants the best for as many people as possible, cannot budge on. It is very dumb, and it will result in lots of people getting hurt or killed. There's a lot more to it than just that. It's a very, very scary stuff. And it's something that I want to have like a larger conversation about at some point. But in regards to your original question, you know, so long as those people don't want to violate my human rights or the human rights of others, I can respect them. But the minute your legislation and your policies start to affect my ability to exist, or, you know, anyone's ability to exist, then you just kind of turn into the bad guy, right? Like, I hate to be so black and white about it, but if you take away someone's rights, you know better than that's bad. You shouldn't do that. And that's why I think content like this is important, because it's important to know how to combat it. And while a lot of the time I mean, that's true. They could argue that about me, but then I could also argue that they're taking away my rights and I exist right now. But, okay. They do believe that, and that's fine that they believe that, but the medical consensus tells us exactly when life begins. Because, see, here's the thing. People say life begins at conception. What actually is a baby at conception? It's a zygote. What is a zygote classified as? The way that it exists and the way that it feeds up until the point where it can exist independent of the mother is just like a parasite, right? And while, yes, everyone should have the right to have children if they want to have children, and they should have the right not to have children if they want to not have children, most of the people who are getting abortions because they know that either way, this baby will not be taken care of the way it needs to, whether it's financial issues on the part of the mother and father, whether it's, you know, maybe there's something going on at home, maybe, you know, heaven forbid, the mother is being abused in any way, and that abuse could be levied against the newborn child. You know, the child could turn out to be sick. The mother could be too ill to carry the child. There's lots of factors that Republicans in their staunch want to save every theoretical baby have overlooked, because they make the argument inconvenient, right? Like, if they really want to save every human life they can, every baby, then the Republican Party should stop jerking off. Because technically, if life begins in the act of conception, that's like 1 million babies every time. But they don't count that as a baby, right? So like, they want to measure exactly what counts as a baby with like a certain week's heartbeat and stuff. Some people don't even know they're pregnant until the heartbeat law kicks in, at which point they can't get an abortion because the heartbeat law prevents that. So what if, like, it's it's very difficult, right? Like, it's a difficult decision to get an abortion already. And it's made more difficult by lack of care. And that means that, unfortunately, more people will die. That's usually what I believe, right? Like, as soon as you can take your first breath, you are alive. Because, like, you don't develop memories or whatever. But, like, as soon as you exist in a state where people can perceive you as human, I think that's when, right? I think personally. But there's, like, caveats to it. Like, I wouldn't say, you know, abort a 9-month-old fetus, right? Like, don't come in at the 11th hour and decide you don't want a baby. You can't do that, because even premature babies exist, right? Like, I was premature. I came out like 7 weeks early. It was something crazy like that. I think the best option, right, if they really want to save as many babies as possible, right, what they need to do is they need to make a program, right, like a government run program that helps mothers and children that are, that aren't uh, in the best of circumstances. And it needs to be like no guilt, no strings attached, no exceptions. Every mother who applies can get taken care of, so that we can make sure that as many children have as rich a life as America can provide, because we're supposed to do that, right? America is supposed to provide a rich and fulfilling life to every person on its soil, because they are entitled, according to the Constitution, every American citizen is entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But if you take away someone's human rights, they no longer have their liberties, they no longer have their life, and they no longer have the ability to pursue happiness. So how is that fair, even in a constitutionally originalist sense of the word? You're a pretty smart kid. Let's get back to the video, shall we?
And I feel like a lot of leftists kind of are really tempted to throw in the towel. I don't know what it is about the difference in messaging, but it seems like you can have a continuous increase in progressive values, like just nonstop, just in every way: acceptance of interracial marriage, acceptance of, immigrants, acceptance of interracial neighborhoods, acceptance of queer people of all kinds, up about for decades and decades. Progressives have overcome so many like bad hills before. The whole AIDS crisis, the Ronald Reagan administration refusing to comment on the AIDS crisis, telling the CDC not to study it, like all that. And then like we see a bunch of hardship on the road, and people are like, "That's it, I guess." And not to say that that response can't be a valid one. It's an understandable reaction. It's just it's important to understand what can be done, because I feel like a lot of people, especially on the left, where attitudes towards electoralism are mixed, you tend to get a lot of unproductive negativity, what I call doomerism. I think that negativity is actually a perfectly rational way of thinking right now.
I do know who Destiny is.
So I wanted to talk about what we can do, and I'll stammer on about it.
I have some personal qualms about Destiny and the way that he argues. Personally, I like Hassan Piker, Bosch, the Surfs, Shark 300, Sam Cedar, the Majority Report with Sam Cedar is really good if you just want to get your news and see some interviews with like current political pundits. I like the Vosh for his debates, and I like Hunter Avalone for his debates. Hunter has kind of some yikesy takes about some stuff, but he's learning, how to be better. I like Hassan because he manages to, even with the darkest of subjects, he manages to convey the information to his chat in a clear and concise way, and he can still make politics fun in a way that I don't think any other streamer does. Right? I think Hassan is uniquely equipped to talk about certain subjects, especially subjects abroad, since he was an immigrant to America. Find them to be dishonest? In what way? Do you mean like rhetorically dishonest, or is this like a socialism is when no house thing? I mean, yeah, you have to be okay. So, in the reality of a situation, right? Rhetoric and optics don't matter. When push comes to shove, if you were put in a situation, right? Let's say I'm gonna give you a hypothetical, right? And it's gonna be a wild hypothetical here. But let's say you're put in a situation I can see where you're coming from with that, but he does go a little bit deeper when he goes further into certain topics, but he can't cover everything as extensively as he does. He also has other shows where he does go into things more extensively. Like I enjoy shows like The Leftovers, and he's got a podcast called Fear and Malding. And Fear and Malding's just kind of a comedy podcast, but The Leftovers is kind of neat because they go over like what's popular in politics. And then for his show, he can start going over other stuff, or he can have guests on, and he can talk about breaking news. That kind of stuff is pretty good. So if I want a more in-depth sort of coverage of the news, right, I will go with Sam Cedar or even Vosh, because even when Vosh is covering the news, he'll cover the politic really deep. Like he'll go document by document, and that's kind of what I like about him. Yeah, he does have a tendency to be hyperbolic, right? But I think in certain instances, it is morally okay to tell a lie. This have like it's moral relativism, right? Like as far as the hypothetical is concerned, like if it were 1942 and I lived in Poland and Germany had just invaded and I had a bunch of Jewish people hiding in my basement, hell yeah, I would lie. I would lie straight to the face of those people to keep the people in my home safe. I would lie, cheat, and steal. I would do everything I could. Because that's what you should do. That's the thing, right? He doesn't mean lie like... He says lie, right? But he means omission. Okay, so if you... Like what he's talking about, I think, is lying rhetorically so that you can move someone over to your side. So like being hyperbolic about your enemy. Your enemy. I'm going to use big air quotes around the word enemy because no one is actually your enemy per se. What it is people can disagree about their political beliefs, and some of those political beliefs just kind of don't mesh well with human rights. Okay, so that's the problem. I think if you're trying to pull someone from an ideology where their thing is the Great Replacement, or God forbid, the 14 words, or 1488, or God, any of that kind of shit. If you're trying to pull someone over from that to keep them from going down a pipeline which starts with voting Republican and ends with QAnon Nazi theory, I think it's okay to maybe fib to them a little bit to keep them from becoming like what America personifies as the ultimate evil, right? Like, you can't get more evil than a Nazi as far as America is concerned. You don't need to lie to them if you can catch them early, right? If you can talk to someone when they're like in the center and you don't get too granular about it, if you just say things like, I want you to have comprehensive health care. I would like for you to be able to put food on your table. I would like you to have more rights in the workplace. That's fine. But the minute you start using terms, right, like material condition, or things like that, so here's the thing about that. That works largely if you get someone who's on the fence. The problem is when someone is deeply entrenched in their beliefs, it sometimes doesn't matter how many facts you tell them. Like if I come across somebody who is an alt-righter, right? And I say to them, well, your beliefs about Black people living in America are just patently wrong, and I, as a trans woman, deserve rights, and I deserve to be allowed to exist. They would tell me right to my face that I don't, and then they would tell me some things that I can't repeat on Twitch or YouTube. No matter how many facts you provide, that's the thing, is the people who vote for Republicans usually don't see the evil they're doing. They don't see the harm in their beliefs. They don't see how what they want for America, this return to traditionalism and, this whole sort of men were men, women were women thing that they have going on now. They don't see how that could be harmful to a lot of people because they don't experience it in their day-to-day. Right? So you kind of have to, if you're going to argue with someone like that, right? And you want to come at it as good faith as possible, you have got to be ready to have your sources on point, and you have got to be ready to tug at their heartstrings in just the right way, because otherwise they will tear you apart just for existing if they don't like you, right? Like, now don't get me wrong, there are people on the left that I disagree with also, because they too have swung around horseshoe theory style and are like authoritarian left. Like, don't even get me started with the tankies. I'm not dealing with the tankies or the MLs. I am at worst a communist, and at best a, I don't even want to say social democrat, maybe just a socialist in pardon me. Okay. Sometimes though the emotion, right, is the thing that can break through the barrier. Like if I look at a Republican person who voted, right, who voted to take my rights away, and I talk to them and I say, well, I'm a person just like you are. I'm not trying to do anything wrong. I want to go to my home. I want to live my life the way I should be allowed to without hurting other people. My mere existence does not hurt people. I am not a monster terrorizing your village. I'm a person who's just different. Sometimes that works, right? Sometimes appealing to someone's humanity works. But you have to be, in any kind of argument, right, in any kind of debate, I think you have to have a sincere earnestness about the opinions you have. I subscribe to the idea that I want to do the most good for the most people, right? And whatever that means in the moment is what I believe should be done. So like, I believe we should reinstate Roe v. Wade as a powerful piece of legislation which cannot be broken. I believe that's true. That can be tough. Part of the problem with the right wing is their pipeline is really fast. Right? Like, you go from anti-SJW cringe compilations to Ben Shapiro videos to Dave Rubin to Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan, all the way down to Milo Yiannopoulos and the Proud Boys real quick. God help you if you ever watch Tucker Carlson more than once a week. Holy moly. Well, so like Joe Rogan is a centrist. That's where you would start. Right? If you were a normie, you would probably start somewhere in like the Joe Rogan, maybe Jordan Peterson Manosphere section of YouTube, and you would go from there and you'd find maybe a Steven Crowder video, right? Hassan to Tanky Pipeline. Let's see. Maybe I can map it out. You would watch Hassan. He's like, he would be considered the entry level. Then Hassan would probably mention someone else that you would watch, like Will Neff or Austin's show, and Austin would probably have a guest on, or Hassan would have a guest on that was kind of funny, like Stavros, Halkias, and then you'd watch, or you would listen to Cumtown, and then when you're listening to Cumtown, you might get an ad for a Vosh video. You would watch a Vosh video. Vosh talks about Cat Black. Vosh talks about all these other people. You would start getting videos for them, right? But the difference between the left and the right, I think mainly, is their ability to advertise, right? Like, other than their political leanings, it's their ability to advertise to the people. Because the right will engage in extreme astroturfing on YouTube and Twitch. They will, like, these groups like, Prager University, which is not a real accredited university, by the way. They just made that up for a YouTube title and somehow became super famous. What the fuck is their thing? So it's a lot of conservatives are banned on Twitch and they use YouTube, but the astroturfing still happens. There are still conservative people who exist on Twitch, like Hake from the Hake Report. He is a ultra nationalist Christian, or John Doyle. Oh god, John Doyle, a Christian fascist. Like, he's self-proclaimed Christian fascist. Yeah, he went to a drag show and asked the police if they could kill the patrons of the drag show. Because, quote, that's what the cops do, right? You go in and you shoot people. And, like, nothing came of that. He just got to walk away with his megaphone and keep spouting hate speech. But you have to learn, it's important to be equipped. People like that exist because they have this idea about what America should be, right? They get this idea that it should always be the 1950s, and they saw like an episode of Leave It to Beaver or something, and they think that's perfect America, and we need to be there, but they don't, or maybe they do think about the consequences of being 1950s America. If they do, that's despicable, and if they don't, that's just a stupid oversight. Because the 1950s were not as good as we have it. The internet didn't exist. People of color couldn't vote or get married to white people. Fucking women couldn't vote. Black women especially couldn't vote, because they were doubly under it. Minimum wage didn't exist. Unions were being busted up left, right, and center by the Pinkertons. But what those people, what they do is they look at the only way. Yeah, they look at the economic growth. And the show's about, exactly. It's like how people will look back on the 90s and go, oh man, I miss the 90s, except they pine for the idea of the 50s that never really existed, because they watch Andy Griffith with their grandpa, and it looks like fun to go fishing and live in a town where nobody gets hurt. That's true. That's true. I wasn't around for the 80s, but oof, was that a bad time. But like, if you look at every major statistic that the right likes to cite about crime in the United States and how it's on the rise all the time, you look at the overall trends in crime and they're going down. Like in 2020, Joe Biden, with a single bit of money that he sent to parents to help pay for their kids, literally removed child poverty for 1 full year. Every family unit that had a child, like under the age of, I think, 14, I'm not sure what the actual age was, but they didn't have to, like, if you applied, you didn't have to worry about where money for food was coming from if you lost your job due to COVID. So child poverty ceased to exist. The economy was on the rise because people in the middle and lower class finally had money to spend on the things they need, like groceries and and medicine and doctor's appointments, so they could take the extra money they had from working, or, you know, they could take the money they got from the stimulus check and they could buy things that they needed. But here's the trick with inflation. You don't actually have to inflate the economy. The economy. So this is going to sound really wacky, right? The economy is just fake. It's all fake. All of it. It used to be something. The dollar, $1 used to be worth 1 unit of gold. That was when the dollar was worth something. Now it's worth, it's what's called a fiat currency, right? So it's potentially worth something, but only because we believe it's worth that much. So in essence, because America's dollar is a fiat currency, inflation should no longer exist, because it's worth as much as we believe it's worth, right? So people say, oh, the spooky specter of inflation is upon us. It'll ruin the American economy. But look at that. Gas prices are dropping. And why is that? Because it's after the 4th of July. Because it's after the big travel days for summer vacations. It had nothing to do with inflation. This happens every year, and everyone seemingly forgets about it until it rears its ugly head in summer. That's true, the gold value was arbitrary, but at least then there was a physical object, right? So like the value we place on these objects is in essence arbitrary. So by that fact alone, you could just say that inflation doesn't, the government could just say, nah, prices aren't going to inflate because it's just worth that much. But they never do that. Right? They never do that, because there's money to be made in inflating the economy. There's money to be made in inflation and recession. Enjoy your 3 minutes of ads. Also, if you've got an ad, if you see the ad, let's come in at the top of the hour. Every hour there's a 3-minute ad break. I am going to play some music and put us on the away screen while I step away. I'll be right back. All right. Back. All right. We're back. Let's pause the music. And we will continue the video.
No longer. It's all well and good to say, you know, la revolution.
Thank you for the welcome back.
And fire your cowboy six-shooters into the sky to sort of ethnically confuse things. The people around you, you know, while you're doing the cowboy bit with the French. You can do that if you want. Sorry, can you tell that I'm sick? Look, learn the arguments, learn to protect yourself, and organize. I'm a rhetorician. It's my job to talk and make arguments. So for that reason, I prioritize this section highest of all. We need to understand, and by we here I mean leftists and progressives, that the big threats, the revocation of our democracy, the tyranny, the massive attack on trans rights and what have you, these things are supported by Republicans broadly, but fully understood only by a minority of them. Most citizens just don't know that much about political causes, even the ones they directly support. And I really do think that a lot of Republicans right now, the voters, I mean, not the elected officials, have an attitude towards trans people which is less one of open repulsion, disgust, and hatred, which is basically what the mainstream Republican media attitude is, considering the fact that the past couple months have been, you know, riddled with the messaging that trans people are all groomers attacking your children, they're all pedophiles, what have you. But I really do think that a lot of Republicans have the kind of love the sinner, hate the sin attitude towards trans people, this kind of compassionate disapproval. That's not to say that's an acceptable reaction, only that it's not the same as open, like, genocidal hatred. And I obviously don't have any strict numbers on this, but if you...
This is true. Most people are just misguided, and if you give them enough information, they will be able to form their own positive opinions. However, my problem is commenting to people who are deeply entrenched in their beliefs. Those are the people who I would say it is more difficult to rhetorically engage with them. Because somebody who doesn't know, you can tell them the truth and they'll listen. Somebody who knows a little bit but is really passionate, you could tell them the truth until you're blue in the face, but they're not going to listen. I will take a look at that.
Go, for example, by general polling, the majority of Americans are in favor of trans acceptance, you know. If you look within the Republican Party, oftentimes on single issues, when polled, people are more split than you might think, you know. Republicans vote as a coalition for a variety of reasons, you know, not just because of the of their shared seething hatred of trans people. That being said, you know, it's a large crowd being roped around by a small group. And the small group, the people who are elected or who represent media organizations who talk about trans people like an existential threat. You know, you have Jordan Peterson and Matt Walsh essentially saying they don't think it should be legal to be trans at all. I think these people are, you know, Pied Pipers. They're leading around a larger group. And while it would be pretty naive of me to suggest that it's possible to just, like, wake up the moderate Republicans to get them, like, out of there, like, say, hey, you know, like, the people you're following are supporting genocidal rhetoric. I don't know if that's really possible, at least not for a large group of people. It's not a reliable process. I think what is a reliable process, though, is making the trans issue more of a difficult topic for Republicans to promote, to lead people around by. That is to say, right now we need to focus on doing to trans issues what the passage of the Civil Rights Act did to a lot of race issues, which is it makes the worst bigots grumble grumble and fold their arms and stay quiet for a bit because it suddenly becomes so...
The example he uses is a rider and an elephant. Your logic is the rider and the elephant is your emotions. You can try and guide the elephant, but it only works so much. It will take you generally where it wants. Your logic will follow. I see.
Socially unacceptable for them to continue propagating their politics in the worst possible way. That we need to revert in that respect slightly. And I think that you can do that when talking with moderate Republicans, because I've had so many convos with and had seen so many people online who are Republican voters who are like, wow, things have gotten a little bit wacky um, lately with regards to the trans issues, haven't they? In fact, I recently got a DM from somebody who said that they disagreed with my alarmist perspective on Florida's Say Gay bill, but then they messaged me just a few days ago saying like, "Oh, I think you might have been right about the Republicans messaging broadly. Where I really hope that you're not right, but like, yeesh." And that's an admirable attitude, not only because it's tough to admit that you've changed your mind, but also because it's indicative of the fact that it is in fact possible to get people moved away from this. So to summarize it, okay, there are three basic arguments that are employed against trans people by the ultra far right that are used to kind of stir up this sentiment with the broader right. And it's simply this: trans people hurt themselves, trans people hurt others, and trans people hurt society. Okay? So there are ways to address all three of these basic arguments. For the idea that trans people hurt themselves, this is usually cited in the idea that trans people are victims of a gender cult that convinces them to mutilate their bodies and it makes them suicidal. Now, thankfully, literally all available data on this subject proves the opposite of this. That the number of detransitioners.
Yeah, I just want to take a quick minute and say, like, as a trans person, that rhetoric, not only is it harmful, but it's just wrong, right? Like, yes, I have depression. Yes, I have anxiety. But I'm a trans person with those. Broadly speaking, my suicidality, right? The rate of my wanting to no longer exist is the best way to put it. Is practically gone. I mean, I have other issues I'm dealing with a therapist, but I'm seeing a medical professional, and every trans person that I know sees a medical professional, and they see a psychologist, they see doctors, we see therapists, we see all kinds of people, and I haven't been as happy as I am knowing that I get to be myself. Like, that's all that I want, and that's all that most trans people want. It's just to be ourselves, but there's this perception that we're too stupid or too naive to take care of ourselves, and we're also at the same time like a group of super predators ready to constantly commit the R word against anyone in a women's bathroom, because nobody really talks about trans men. Honestly, when they talk about trans issues, it's always pointed at trans women, because trans men, as much as they don't blend in their own head, largely to society, when they look at a trans man, they just see a man. When they look at a trans woman, they don't see a woman, because there's one of two options. Either they're not attracted to the trans woman, therefore not a woman, or they are attracted to the trans woman, therefore something is wrong with me, therefore gay, therefore not a woman. Exactly. If like if I showed a conservative, like, this is, I'm gonna flat out say this is a Hassan argument, but if I showed a conservative a picture of Buck Angel, and I know this sounds like transmedicalism, right? I assure you, I am not a transmedicalist. You do not need dysphoria to want to transition. You do not need to pass to be a valid human being. You do not need any of that. right? Any of the prerequisites that they say, so long as you make an informed decision and you have spoken to at least the necessary amount of psychologists and psychiatrists in order to be able to move forward with your transition, or you live in a place which has informed consent laws, which mean that so long as you do the research and you find that this is what you want, the problem is there are people who aren't trans that use it to do bad things, and the conservatives point to these as all trans people when they are the minority. Yes, that is a problem. And that's something that the trans community has been combating themselves, because these people who commit these crimes, not only do they make trans people look bad, they commit these crimes against trans people. Like, he's going to talk about the statistics, so I don't have to really give the numbers. But I just want you to know, one, it is statistically borne out that if a trans person is accepted by a single member of their family unit, just one person in their household, spouse, child, father, mother, brother, one person, their rate of attempted suicide drops 60%. And in some cases, it can drop as low as 90%, depending on the type of acceptance they receive and from whom. So that's important to know, because what gets brought up a lot is Republicans will say, well, trans people commit self-harm at a larger rate than non-trans people. Why do you think that is? And they'll argue that it's because they're trans, when the real problem is that they're not being accepted, right? You walked into a thing?
Is really quite uncommon. The majority of people who do detransition do so because they can't afford to continue transitioning, or
Oh, hi.
they...
I just realized that you're a new chatter. Welcome to the stream, Shy Pepperoni. We're talking about politics and news. I'm going over a Vosh video right now, and I'm just discussing some, facts about trans people, right? Because he's going to largely talk about the statistics, but I just want to give you a primer, like, as a trans person. Yeah, that's usually what I do on stream, is like news and politics, and sometimes I'll play games, but it's not, I try to make it as not scary as possible, right? So like right now we're going over a video that's like how to keep yourself safe and protected, and we talk about some steep topics, but it's not always like that, and sometimes if it's hard, yeah, if you need to step away, by all means step away. Don't put yourself out on my account, but it doesn't always have to be scary. So we're gonna get back to the video, and then we'll see where it goes.
Face so much social backlash that they decided to just essentially keep in the closet, which is awful. So that disproves that, as effectively as can be. If people say, even one detransitioner is enough to make all trans people, nobody should get the surgery. Well, that's an argument against literally all elective surgeries. All elective surgeries, surgeries that you choose to get, as opposed to, you've been rushed into the hospital because you've been shot through the shoulder or something, have a regret rate. And regret rates for trans surgeries are in line with or lower than many other
Fun fact about trans surgeries, real quick, and this is like a real cool positive thing. The regret rate for trans surgeries is 1%. The regret rate for knee surgery is 15%. Gender reassignment surgery has a 96% success rate. Well, that's where this stream comes in. Because I'm not just going to give you the news, right? I'm not just going to rotely spout it out to you. Like, that's what we do at the beginning. I read the headlines. But afterwards, we go over options for direct action, like things that you can do. Getting involved in local government. You know, organizing a book drive for children for your local library. Going to town hall meetings. Punished Lily, my girlfriend, is here. Kamikaro is here. Oh man, stream is blowing up. Everybody say hi to Cammy. Thank you for the host and the raid. Oh my goodness. I do not know why my alerts are not working. I will have to figure that out later. Because it should have made a very obnoxious noise. Yeah, also, if you follow or you subscribe with a Twitch Prime, you'll get these nifty emotes that I made or I edited to work on Twitch. We have Peepo Blanky for subscribers. Oh my goodness! You subscribe with a Twitch Prime. Thank you so much. You're never going to see ads again for the rest of the month. You're also going to see that you should get a subscriber badge, which should be, if I did it right, a cute little leaf. You will get the Peepo Dance emote, and you should get My Room and Peepo Investigate. Katsune hosted your channel for 5 viewers. Thank you so much for the raid and the host. Oh my goodness. Matt Joram, hello. Thank you for coming to the stream. Right now, everybody, I want you to know we are discussing kind of heavy topics. In-depth advice on streaming. Like what sort of advice would you? The follow one works. Thank you for the follow, but it didn't play the noise. It's supposed to play like a cute noise. Exclamation point S. What? I've apparently got a lot to learn about Twitch too. Give me just a second. I'm looking for something here for someone. All right, that's it. That's okay. 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 Give me just a second. I'm gonna try this, see if it worked. There we go. Looks like it's sent out. So, when you're making content, the best thing for you to do, right, is to look at your hobbies or look at if you want to make content, you want to generally, I know this is a tangent, uh, but you want to generally find something I did have a bot. Where did my bot go? I guess Restream didn't give me a bot. Don't worry about it. Tangents are fun. They're great. So like when I started streaming, all I did really was play video games, right? Like I didn't really have much to do. Sure, I'll probably have to hit you up maybe tomorrow, because I have some stuff to do after stream. Ah, Gajo's here too. So you want to do gaming streams, right? All right. Do you want to do gaming streams like solo, or do you want to play with other people? Like, do you want to do a little like there are some people who stream with co-hosts like I used to do. I would love to do a gaming stream. I have all kinds of games. I actually just got into Minecraft. I know, boomer, right? Um, but generally what I do, and I might switch over now since we have kind of a free-flowing open conversation here. And I might switch to, hold on. There is, oh, there it is. Okay. So I have this scene here, which is for if I'm... It's kind of fun. I decided... DC Mallow, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Now you won't have to worry about ads, and you'll get some cute emotes. Okay, so do you have a Twitter? Yeah, that's me. I did a lot of rebranding in real life too. Um, so if you have a Twitter, it's real good to get into topics. Like I'm lucky because I got the chance to be a VTuber. Okay, so you're gonna what you need to do is you need to start engaging more than just like I'm going live. Ah, so if you're a VTuber, right? Make sure if you're gonna post about your stream that you only use 2 hashtags. Any more than 2, and your post will get lost in the algorithm, right? Then what you want to do is you want to try to make friends. You know, don't look at Twitter as a like marketing tool. Look at Twitter as a place to make friends. Because if you make friends, you can do stuff together. And then it's fun, right? And then you can have fun while streaming with your friends. Also, it's important to remember that like the first couple of years, all right, so if you're trying to funnel people into your Discord, you got to make sure you have links to the Discord in your Twitter and also on your Twitch. Mention that you have a Discord at the top and bottom of your program. So like at the very beginning and the very end, you could be like, hey guys, don't forget, make sure that after the stream you go on and you check out our Discord. You know, by the way, plug for the Young Office Discord. Go ahead and check out the link down underneath the channel. Also, I think we're coming up on a 3-minute ad break here. So those of you who have subscribed won't have to worry about seeing the ads. But if you don't want to see the ads and you would like access to that cute little emote that Lily just posted, that's Peepo Blanky, as well as a few other emotes, you can subscribe for $5 or with a Twitch Prime. Also, yes, Lily, those are the emotes. We've got Peepo Pog, Peepo Investigate, and the classic, the original. My room! Oh god, I haven't really done that voice in earnest in a while. But yeah, there's lots of different ways that you can boost your engagement, and one of the best ways to do that is to try to do a collab, right? Like, how long have you been streaming? Okay. So let me show you how I have my Twitter set up. We'll go up here. We'll go to my Twitter. By the way, new icon. Thank you, Picru. Picru, the savior of trans people on the internet since the internet was made. Also, big poggies for 457 followers. Can I get a Peepo Pog in the chat? Any poggers in the chat? So, you know, I have a theme, like a frog theme. So I did a little, like, you do a little blurb right here. You have a hashtag for if anybody makes art. You know, they can use the hashtag anyart. What to do? You have a dog theme? Oh, that's cute. I have an affiliate link. By the way, I have been sponsored by... I'm unforgettable. Oh, that's a good one. Thank you. I do have a sponsorship link. If you use code... I know, I'm shilling. I'm shilling like crazy. This one is free. It doesn't... They'll take anyone. They took me, and I talk about politics. All right. Yeah. And then you have here, see, I have my Twitch linked here. I'm also going to start linking my YouTube because I'm also streaming on YouTube. I'm using a program called Restream to stream on both. That way I can reach more audience. And hopefully I can drum up some interest on other websites while not having to worry because it uses cloud service. Okay, what kind of games do you like to play? Let me switch over to this here. Oh, you know what? You know what? I think I know how to fix my bot. Oh, both. I have an affiliate link from this company called W. They make energy drink powder, or like gamer powder, I guess. I am definitely going to try some soon. They're currently out of stock of most of their product because it sells really fast and is pretty decently priced, and everybody gets 10% off when they use code EmmyKnows. at checkout. Yeah, it's like, imagine if Monster didn't have all the fizz and actually tasted like fruit. It's like if Kool-Aid was an energy drink, right? But it's got a bunch of like electrolytes and it seems pretty good for you. Tastes like sweat and Cheeto. Minecraft, but it has a schedule of 2 major games I play a week. Gotta get sponsored by Gamer Goo. Gotta use the gamer powder before a workout. No, you use pre-workout before a workout. The gamer powder is just apparently it helps you focus. So we'll see. I'll test that theory. I'm actually gonna shell out my own cash to make sure that this works because I didn't expect to get accepted immediately. I thought they would like, you know, go over the product and stuff with me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna buy some, and we're gonna test it out on stream. That's true. That's true. But also pre-workout is basically just speed. Like it's not really actually drugs, but like the vitamins and stuff that they put in. Oh, you like RPG type games? Oh, one of my first major streams was Persona 5 actually. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna get their starter pack with a little shaker, and I'm gonna try their flavors, and we're gonna see which one that I like because I like sweets. But anyway, why did I disappear? Hold on. I disappeared from the view of chat. No one could see me. That's true. You were watching from Persona 5. I was hiding in my pond. Wow, my program can't decide how many viewers I have. One window says 9, the other one has 7. Either way, hello, all the viewers. So, basically, you play Minecraft, right? Do you do mods for Minecraft? Exactly. Mama Frog's gotta help the tadpoles. I gotta teach them. So I recommend if you're gonna do like Minecraft streams, if you're gonna do like multiplayer stuff, maybe have a little group where you all get a mod, right? Like a specific mod, like a hardcore mod or something crazy. Can I restart? Okay. So you said you play Minecraft, right? And you want some viewer attention. You want some people to show up to your stream. Which means you're gonna have to have something on last spot. I had to answer my door. I'm gonna be honest with you. My brain is a little fried. I have been streaming now for 2 hours 48 minutes. No worries. I didn't realize I've been streaming more than 2 hours. It is pretty cool that I'm still going. You don't have to be sorry about anything. We should probably get back to the video. But originally, what I was trying to show you before I got double scatterbrained was how I added my links in my Twitter. So you can just edit your profile, just copy the link and drop it in. And if it's a full link, like my affiliate link here, or my websites, there's a section for websites, and you can just type in links. And then you hit save, and then they show up. If they're a full link, they'll show up like this. And you can just click on them, and they'll work. No, you can hit enter and type as many as the character limit will allow. Okay, so to get back to the video at hand, we can talk more about some ways for you to like get viewer retention after stream if you want. You can shoot me a message in my Discord, and I'll do a little what for about it, you know? Maybe I'll put something together for next stream. So let's get back to the video. Again, we were watching what you need to learn when debating conservatives and how we can resist fascism.
Elective or cosmetic surgeries. I don't believe trans-related surgeries are cosmetic, though I do think that, especially in the case of stuff like facial feminization surgery, it certainly involves the effort of aestheticians and cosmetic surgeons. At any rate, the data supports that case, as does the data support the idea that trans surgeries or social transition or anything like that helps trans people emotionally. As to the idea that people who are trans are all being groomed into a gender cult, that's a non-falsifiable claim. It's the same claim that was made against gay people and still is today. The idea that the only reason a person could ever be like that is because of abuse. If you want to counter that, you could point out the fact that gender divergent people, by our standard, not only exist around the world today, but have existed in many historical texts going back. You can literally find thousands of years old social systems that were more accommodating of gender divergence in that respect, at least, than the modern West with its gender binary.
It's true. There are documented. First of all, you have Native American peoples had two spirits. That's a very commonly cited one. Then you have in Turkey, they had a third gender, which by all characteristics was just feminine men, but they ascribed a third gender characteristic to them. There's also the Roman advent of, I forget what it's called, but it was also young effeminate men who would stay home during wartime and keep the wives company. And oftentimes they would absorb the mannerisms of like the women around them and start to just act and dress that way. But the key difference is the self-identification, right? So if you look at yourself and you wholeheartedly feel that the gender you were assigned at birth, or the gender you were assigned at birth is incongruent with your self-identification. Yeah, Gajo, we're doing you want in on this? I can hop in a VC. All right. So basically, oh, that's fun. Yeah, basically the distinction, right, is the feeling inside that you have, right, of your gender not being, or your gender being rather incongruous with the gender you were assigned at birth. And that's the best way to put it, right? And I know that that argument can lead to some trans medicalism, because oftentimes it seems like people who make that argument are coming from a place of, well, you have to have dysphoria to be trans. But I want to make it clear yet again, just because we have some new people in the chat, uh, you do not need gender dysphoria to be trans. You do not need to transition to be trans. You do not need to appeal to someone's aesthetic sensibilities to be trans. The only thing you need to be trans is to feel that you are trans, right? You have to believe it, right? It can't be a bit, right? You can't do the Steven Crowder thing where he dresses up in women's clothing and goes to the local Planet Fitness and tries to get someone to say something transphobic to him as a bit. Exactly. Trans rights. Always. Trans rights are human rights. And this is something, this particular belief, the best person I've heard articulate that belief is, there's a guy on YouTube, I think he also streams on Twitch, named Shark300, and he described it as like he's not trans, but he described it as himself having spoken to a lot of trans people, is a deep feeling in yourself that you are trans, whatever that means for you, whether that be a complete gender incongruence or not. If you don't identify as a trans person, then you're not trans. And everybody can make like egg jokes and stuff, but like deep down, even eggs feel the gender incongruence and want to change it. Yeah, just just because you don't fit the mold of what society thinks a trans person is, doesn't mean you aren't trans if that's the label you choose to use to best describe yourself. There's no gatekeeping here. If you want to call yourself trans because you have some slight gender incongruence or not, either way, I know personally, I'll accept you so long as you don't infringe on another person's inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, yada yada yada. Like, I'm trying to build a community here where not only do I get to give people information that is practical for their life, like, you know, talking about the environmental impact of NFTs last week, or uh, or the week before, I think, or the or talking about like local or state or federal politic. People accept my stance and not judge me for being soft and having less masculine traits. So what you're coming up against, I will. Um, what you're coming up against is actually a product of toxic masculinity, and I know this sounds a little silly, because people use but toxic masculinity, but there's this perception largely in society about what a man or person who identifies as male has to be, right? You have to be tough, you have to be strong physically, You can't show negative emotions. You have to be stoic. You know, there's this romanticization of like the 1950s guy. And I think it's important to do away with that because it's very harmful to men's mental and physical health if they have to live up to an unattainable standard for even those people back in the day, right? Like, it's okay if you like soft things. That doesn't make you any less of a man so long as you view yourself as a man, right? They can't take that from you. And societal acceptance will come with time, but it is important to strive to work together to make things better. Hmm, I see. So it seems like maybe some of your coworkers have some outdated ideals. That is kind of what you have to do out in public, right? You kind of have to take what people say with a grain of salt. But you can also always just say that you don't appreciate that kind of talk, right? Or that kind of assumptions about your character. Because who you are is a combination of all the things about you. It's what you like, how you were raised. Well, that depends. Does it if it's something you feel comfortable discussing, like if your coworker says something to you that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's something you should talk to someone about because they shouldn't be doing that. Like if you have to have a talk with them, like if we're talking about in a workplace setting or like as friends, I personally would try to have a talk about it, but it honestly depends on your situation, like what your level of comfort is, because like I said, I don't want to push anyone towards anything, right? I don't want to make people do things they feel uncomfortable with. You know, if, if you think toughing it out is what you want to do and you want to try that, then go ahead. But I will always recommend well, it doesn't. So in the workplace, it doesn't matter what the boss or the other coworkers think. If you have a problem where someone is is making it difficult for you to do your work in any capacity, whether that be by diminishing you or belittling you in any way, that's something that does need to be taken care of. It's very important. It's not something you should just brush off because that at that point you're participating in workplace culture and then that has a lot of expectations too. So what I think is you should prioritize your safety and your comfort. So if you personally feel you can handle it, then by all means handle it. But if it's something where you want something done but you're worried that no one will help you, they have does your does your workplace have HR? An HR department? Okay. So that's something that you need to find out because it's important for you to know who works in your HR department and how to contact them if one exists. And if not, uh, do you work in a unionized building? Like, working full-time streaming would be nice. I still haven't gotten that comfortable yet, but I'm clearly on my way. You should also make sure, couple things while we're on workplace etiquette. One, you should be able to discuss your wages with the people you work with. Two, if your workplace does not have a union and you think you could get people behind you without jeopardizing your job, look into local unions which fit your workplace. If your workplace does have a union, please, please join the union. Do not work as a scout. 4, make sure that you know who works in your HR department. Make sure you know how to contact them. Like I said, it's very important for you to know those things. And lastly, and most importantly, well, if you're brand new to your employment and you can't join the union yet, like if they don't let you join the union yet, then that's a different thing. You can also negotiate with the union at your job to try to get into the union, so as not to be working outside of the union and causing trouble for union members. But also, if you were hired in that way, you don't have to, don't feel guilty for working. And also, remember, work is work. Work isn't your whole life. Because some places, they want your whole world to revolve around your job. But you have other things to do. You have a life outside of it. You have a place where you live that you want to keep clean. You have friends. You have hobbies. You have books to read and movies to watch and places to visit, people to talk to. And those things are important too. So don't overwork yourself if you can help it. Anyway, back to this 40-minute video I started watching an hour ago. Bowling alley as a mechanic. Do you know if the other mechanics are part of a union? Because I know there is a mechanics union, but I don't know if they are part of the union and you've been working there for a year, then you can actually ask your co-workers about it. And they should be able to get you in contact with someone if they do have a union. If they don't have a union, then that's fine. Your place of business doesn't have a union. But if you feel like you could benefit from a union, here's some careful, I'm going to give you some very carefully worded tips here. Tip number 1, look into the local unions on your off time. This is something you have to do while you're not working. 2, if you want to form a union, do not discuss the formation of the union on the floor at work. 3, do not discuss the formation of the union with any of your superiors at your job. Don't talk to your manager. Don't talk to your HR department about it. Don't talk to anyone about it except for those who are willing and interested in joining a union. Also, if you are first starting a union, do not post about it on social media. What you would do, well, see, I don't mean superior like everyone who's been there longer than you. I mean superior like management specifically. So coworkers above you might be okay. So it's just one other person, and then the rest of them are managers. Hmm. I see. So that one would be a little tougher, but I encourage you to look into there are unions for mechanics. There are some very strong unions for mechanics. Let's get back to the video.
Is today, you know, if or to put it another way, if you genuinely want to believe this non-falsifiable claim that every single one of the millions and millions of homosexuals and transsexuals out there are only what they are because of abuse, and this has been going on for literally all of human history, at that point, what you really would want to do then would be to limit abuse. not not like fight against trans people, you know what I mean? Like at that point you're not even arguing against the concept of trans people. You've invented a boogeyman suggestion in your head, and then you're suggesting that its existence must then prove some other entirely separate thing. I suppose that all the cultures and throughout history that have had third genders, or all the Native Americans, like just every single person in their society had been groomed into that. Whatever. It's a ridiculous claim. You can make fun of it. Um, there are plenty of other very relevant statistics that can be pulled up, like the idea that parental support can decrease the likelihood of suicidal ideation with young trans people by like to 1/17 of what it would be otherwise. Like if you have a 17% rate of suicidal ideation within the past 3 months of a trans youth, parental support could drop that to 1%. I just made up the 17% number there, but I believe 1/17 was the statistic cited by that document. I think I have that in my research document, which I really need to update, by the way. So yeah, trans people, by virtue of being trans, the things associated with them being trans, that doesn't hurt them. As for whether or not they hurt others, we still have like no evidence at all that trans people pose a sexual risk to others. The idea that their inclusion in bathrooms of their choosing are going to hurt others, despite years of fear mongering by Republicans and conservatives worldwide and their turf stooges. We just really don't have any evidence of that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's just there's just not evidence of it. Right now, they're going on about the whole, like, they're grooming the children thing. But again, like, you can point this out, and the data suggests it. First of all, sex education reduces the rate of child abuse because the young people then have the tools and awareness to understand what is being done to them if they're being abused, like how to describe it, and that it's unacceptable. If a young person has never even heard of anything related to sex and they start being sexually abused by a relative, they don't really have a way of knowing, at least not innately, that what's happening to them is bad or abusive because they haven't been told that it is. It's generally a good thing to educate children to like make them aware of when they're being hurt by others. It's just a good rule in general. Of course, the primo spots for abusive children are the church and the home. Any place where there are respected professionals and elders and people in positions of authority who sort of loom over them and have enough community acceptance to abuse and exploit in the pursuit of harming children. The idea that there's a mass of children who are being molested as a product of like drag shows is again non-existent. In every argument that I've ever had or seen on this subject, this is when the right starts to bust out like cosmically bizarre arguments, like really asinine, like magical thinking, like, okay, well, maybe all the data is in your favor and I have no data to support my case, but what if I invent this one magical thing? I invent a new bad thing and I say it's bad, and then we assume that it's happening there. What then, huh? That one guy that I debated, that Alex Stein guy, did this with the sexual confusion thing, where he thought that it was like molestation if a kid saw a drag queen because later that kid might realize that they were attracted to a guy. I think that Alex Stein there was either projecting some weird childhood experiences or just making it up as he went along. But Remember, laughing at people who make arguments like this is a core part of rhetoric. If a person makes an argument that is laughable, you have a right, no, an obligation to laugh at them. That is something you should definitely do. Uh, because these arguments often are laughable, as are the arguments that trans people hurt society broadly. You know, leaving aside the fact that the existence of people outside the binary has been a constant throughout human history in various places and times, the idea that society is hurt by the existence of and acceptance of a minority group has been the calling card reactionary argument for literally every kind of social acceptance. They did it with black people, they did it with Mexicans, they did it with Chinese people, they did it with Native Americans, they did it with the Italians, they did it with the Irish, they did it with the German and Polish even further back then. They've done it with the gay people. They've done it with the trans people. They've done it with the everything. They do this every time, you know. How am I supposed to explain to my kid when they see two men kissing in a park? I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Good luck. Your kid probably gets it automatically, you know. Kids, and in a lot of ways, kids actually are like
What's up, Gaja?
more understanding and stuff like this because the brain damage that Republicans have to learn hasn't yet been ingrained in them. You know, like an adult Republican can see like can see like a trans woman go like my entire life I've been using she her to refer to a person's gametes, but now this society is being thrown into chaos by the existence of this they
Yeah,
sure they
I'm not
look like a
sure
woman,
why
everyone treats them like a woman, but are not the
you
fabric
can't
of our
have the cute
society being
badge.
torn asunder by, and then a kid will just go like, I, you know, and that's it, because their idiot like child brain hasn't yet like absorbed all of the misinformation like a sponge. Yeah, obviously it gets more specific than this, but please remember that a healthy dose of
Oh yeah, it
realism
might
is
actually
really
be there. It
important
doesn't
when
always
arguing
show
with
up in
trans folks
chat.
because their arguments are so consistently self-defeating and irrational. You can get advanced like pulling out the whole, well, what is a chair, or you know, what is water, like what is a river, like Wittgensteinian type semantic arguments if you want, because a lot of their positions are like epistemically indefensible. But you know, I don't even think you have to go that far most of the time. And as for like besides trans people, and by the way, the reason I harp on trans people here isn't just because they're like the minority flavor of the month. What's happening in the Republican Party right now is undeniably fascist. And if we are to face off against an attempted fascist coup, we must understand the way fascism works. And fascism, unfortunately, requires a Jew group. You know, we say this because the Nazis chose the Jews, but in reality, the idea of any kind of pervasive, degenerate, society eroding, you know, group of educated elites who are trying to corrupt your children and blah blah blah. Like they always need that. They need that archetype. I think trans people are occupying that archetype right now. You know, I'm sure there are plenty of people in the GOP who do wish they could just go after Jews, but you know, they have to keep up the whole Zionist Israel occupy the Holy Land so that the Christian fundamentalists get their rapture deal. So conflating, you know, conflicting messaging there. Um, it's important to go like through this because like if you look at the way Republican messaging has evolved, it's pretty clear that what they want the majority of their followers to believe is that the existence of trans people poses like a critical threat to America that if left unchecked will lead to the grooming of your children, the destruction of the American like way of life, and so on and so on. This is of course nonsensical. It's ridiculous, and it is literally like what every white nationalist fascist Nazi group does and says. You know, you can swap the groups if you want. Nazis tend to prefer Jews, but this stuff happens all over the world. It's a really common pattern. So, an effective way at pulling moderate Republicans would be to point out the silliness of these arguments, because really a lot is riding for the Republicans on their ability to convince their following that this hysteria is legitimate. So, don't let them. I think it's also worthwhile to make arguments about the validity of democracy when arguing with moderate Republicans. Though the Jan 6 trials, January 6th, a lot of this stuff feels pretty like, I don't know, settled. It was something like half of Republicans believe Jan 6 was like justified or something like that,
Yeah, it's
which
like a
does, to be
crazy
fair, mean that
number.
half think it was unjustified. And half is a lot. I mean, that's a good part of the Republican Party. The January 6 hearings have done a pretty good job of laying out the extent to which the Trump administration lied. I mean, like on every possible level, like essentially beyond parody. You know, how Trump was proven wrong every step in the process of attempting to undo a democratic election shown to have been lying and persisted anyway. So familiarizing yourself with stuff like that and like explaining it all patiently to your dawdling boomer Republican relatives, maybe not a bad idea. I know it's embarrassing that you have to do that because it's all like highly publicized public record, and they're like voting for these people, so they should know better, but they don't. So okay. You should also learn the arguments against liberals, by the way. Right now, one of the major reasons we're in this position is because the Democrat Party is just completely unwilling to use its power to stop what could be like a literal end to our democracy. The DOJ could be doing so much more work in mass arrests against Republicans who are complicit in the attempted overturn of our democracy on January 6th, and there's a hell of a lot more that could be done to hamper the Supreme Court today as they continue to undo our rights with every new judgment they arrive at. But they don't. Unfortunately, there are many liberals who are of the opinion that, they take the low road, we take the high road. Abstemiousness will bring us victory in the end. Virtue is its own reward. Everything will work out in the end. And of course, it won't. No. You can take a look at whether you want like Italy or Nazi Germany or Japan or Spain. Less so Japan, because
Oh
they
gosh.
didn't lead into where they were from a liberal democracy. But nonetheless,
Let me tell you, Chad, I did not take a nap today, and it is running me ragged. Alright? I actually think, I've been streaming for about 3.5 hours.
always there's this attitude like things will be okay. Sure, the things may seem scary,
Very
but at the end of the day,
sleepy.
the good guy always prevails. And historically, this is just delusional. Republicans are right now as evident as can be that they are going to break the rules and take control of the system. And it is not appropriate to look at that and to go, oh, yeah, well, okay. Well, I mean, things will work out. Go and vote. Like that's not enough. Liberals need to be fully aware of the extent of the problem that we're facing right now. And the ways in which you can do that are very broad. You can go to more milquetoast stuff, like pointing out that Joe
Oh my
Biden should
god.
be weaponizing the DOJ more effectively, to more extreme stuff, like using this as a radicalizing incentive against capitalism and liberal democracy in general. Liberal democracies are doomed to fall into these cycles of ineptitude and abstemiousness because the absence of real activist driven political organization within any kind of democratic system leads to apathy and malaise, and again, this kind of contented, it will all work out ideal. The idea that it will never happen here is, in fact, the single greatest determiner that it will probably end up happening here. So try to get them on board with that, or not on board with that. Like the famed Twitter shit posters say, the they can't do that. Posters are have yet to find a counter to the Republicans' response, which is "lol, we'll do it anyway." In terms of arguments, you can be fractally more detailed, but that's it.
Alright. Listen, I'm not gonna watch this whole thing. It's really dry. If you want to see the end of it, you're starting to get politically engaged. Your little baby brain is clicked on. The engine is revving, and you're ready to learn some new facts, some new body politic. Go ahead and check out the rest of this video. What you need to learn when debating conservatives and how we can resist fascism. But don't do it until after the stream is over. Now, this is a 19-minute video, so I'll probably watch the whole thing. This is by The Surf Times. Oh, it's a train. There's a train going by. Wonder if you can hear the honking. Woman hater Jordan Peterson rants about millennial parents. They need to emulate fairy tales? Question mark. So this is kind of a clickbaity title, but usually the surfs are pretty good about delivering information. They're they're Canadian, so they look at it from an outside perspective. when it comes to American politics. So it's pretty good.
Lost children, too good to be true. It's like a house.
I always forget how seriously he takes fables. You can have him like being interviewed by Joe Rogan or something. Joe Rogan's just there. He's like, "That's crazy, man. Where'd you come up with this?" Well, we have to think about this. What did we learn? What did we learn from Hansel and Gretel? What did we learn from children eating a house made of candy, then being cooked alive? Just people don't even want to think about it. People don't want to think about what it's like to live in a gingerbread house. It's crazy. It's crazy, dog. Damn. I want to laugh a little bit about Jordan Peterson. You know, he has been banned.
Listen, chat. You've got to listen to me. If you don't clean your room, the Dragon of Chaos will come and get you. And he'll eat you right up. And he'll take away your luscious daughter. And her dinner of only meats. Clean your room, chat. And you too can have a hot daughter like Jordan Peterson.
He refuses to quit, though.
In his piece, The Coddling of the American Mind, Jonathan Haidt outlines why millennials today are so fragile.
Jordan Peterson is also Canadian, so he has no stake in American politics.
Epidemic by Dr. Jordan Peterson. This is a man who went into a 30-day coma, allegedly, from drinking apple cider. I don't know if any of you have tried apple cider. I have. Didn't do shit to me. It's actually quite delicious. I like it in a variety of things. Certainly didn't put me in a 30-day coma.
Relationships.
Jordan Peterson, strong against meat, weak against appy juice.
In university courses and the workplace. And what has led to this overwhelming push to be protected from anything difficult?
Both. Aprispomen? Yeah, aprispomen. I've had both alcoholic and non-alcoholic apple cider. Neither have rendered me comatose.
Or uncomfortable or offensive. And he calls it the flight to safety. And I think you've used that expression.
It was the sulfates. Well, maybe he should have had organic apple cider then. Then he could have solved it. Like, it just seems like a very easy problem to like, yeah, I once had this impending doom for 30, I couldn't sleep for 30 days. It was savage. I love that he got called out by Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was straight up like, how is that possible? What the fuck, bro? Come on. What are you talking about?
Outlines the core reason for this fragility of mind and emotion.
Oh no! Listen, daughter. I can't go outside. You know, it's the apple cider season. My greatest enemy. Delicious juice. I'll have to stay in and yell about the kids on Twitter. Oh wait, I'm banned from Twitter.
He says it stems firstly from over-functioning and over-protective parents, then schools, now reaches into our universities. And of course, more people than ever go to universities in the West. So they form a much bigger bulk in our community afterwards. And it leaves them tragically unprepared and unarmed for life and relationships. Would you comment on that?
Well, I think it's good to take a step back from that and think about it in the broadest possible terms. There is definitely an epidemic of overprotective parenting.
I want you to look at Jordan Peterson when he
Why?
look at his face. Look at this face. This man is he's infirmed. He is frail. He is small and he is angry because he's allergic to appy juice and he doesn't like girls that come in different shapes and sizes other than the one size he likes, which is the same exact size and shape as his own daughter.
And my suspicions are is that this is driven by very
And we think,
fundamental
here in America,
biological and cultural
people think
phenomena
he's
that
an
aren't
intellectual
in
titan.
relationship to this issue. We don't have very many children. We don't have 12, 6 of whom die.
Jordan, let me ask you a question. Jordan, why do you think there might be a problem? Jordan, give me just 1 second. I have returned, chat.
So overprotective parenting. Back in the day, just a couple light slaps upside the head. That's all it took. We don't do that anymore. Now people are like, oh, do you want a star for being present in a single day of the class? And when you had 12 kids, it was way easier to beat them. Because you could have a whole bunch of children, more kids to beat, and then you wouldn't even have to learn their names, and you wouldn't even have to be like, oh, well, if you distributed the beatings between all 12 kids, there would be less bruising. So we have to put that into account.
We have 1 or 2, and that makes them very precious, right? We're unwilling to take risks with
Shouldn't
them.
they all be precious? I don't know. I don't have children outside of Chico, but I don't know. I would assume they're.
I wish my hand tracking were more accurate because God, just he's so cringe, chat. Jordan Peterson is so cringe.
All precious. But it's not like a game of numbers. If you only have 1 or 2 kids, those children, those are the ones that really matter.
And no wonder.
I don't even know my 3rd child's name.
And then we also have them much later in life. And so, if you have a kid when you're 18, you're still a kid. You're going to go out and have your life, right? Because you're so, you're in the height of your exploratory. You're in the height of.
Okay, I'm so confused. Are you people genuinely wanting all people to have children and that's it? Like, get married, do your thing, procreate, that's the meaning of life. But at the same time, if they do that at 18, there's going to be problems. That's kind of like what the other side has been saying, that people shouldn't just dedicate themselves solely to the idea of procreation being the goal of existence. So people getting married or having kids really young is fucked up.
The exploratory part of your life. You're not going to overprotect your kid because you're still a kid. But if you're 40 and you have 1 child, it's like
I don't care.
all your eggs are in one basket. And the probability that you're going to take undue risks with that precious person is very, very low. Now, obviously.
Why the fuck, Jordan? Why the hell would you take risks with a baby, Jordan? Or like a child in general? This is what you get. Look, no, never mind. Bit canceled. Anyway, Jordan's got a lot going on. Okay, he's not in the best place, like mentally. He has a lot he's dealing with, most of which is stuff his parents should have taught him. That was like stuff that's like real easy to learn, like being respectful to others and not to eat an all meat diet because you need some fucking vegetables, Jordan. Look at your skin, Jordan.
There's some advantages to that because great, you devote resources to your child, and foster their development. But the downside is that you have every motivation to hover. And maybe you're also extraordinarily desperate as a mother to maintain that bond with your child because you've struggled so long to achieve it. It's highly, highly valuable. You can't take a risk. Well, so these So you might say, well, perhaps overprotective parenting is a secondary and unintended consequence of the birth control pill and the fact that people now have children later in life.
Secondary and unintended consequence of what, Jordan? No, it's a secondary and unintended consequence of capitalism. What? God. No! Jordan!
An unintended consequence of the birth control pill and the fact that people now have children later in life. Could easily be. Now, if you have 6 kids, like, what are you going to do?
I just...
Like, no, you're so tired you can't even get off the couch if you have 6 kids. And they outnumber you, right? They're raising each other. They're competing and they're taking each other down a peg. There's no overprotection there. But I
am so confused. Okay, so the good doctor.
Listen. It's a dog-eat-dog world. And if I have 6 kids, they're going in the ring. And it's gonna be 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. That's how I toughen my children up. Why do you think I only have 1 child? She was the victor.
If you have too few children, they're going to be too precious. You're going to over-police them. If you have 6 or more kids, they're basically going to raise themselves and compete with each other, and they're going to become like feral wolves, something to that effect. Like, it's just all over the place. Oh, also, birth control, bad, women, evil.
A single-child landscape, or dual-child landscape, mostly a single-child landscape, then you're going to overprotect. And it starts to permeate the schools, and it starts to permeate the higher education institutions as those children mature. And then that all reinforces it. Not good. It's not obvious what to do about it either, because if it is driven by demographics...
God, my computer is putting off so much heat.
...problem than we think. So I did some of that in 12 Rules for Life. You know, I said, look, what you have to understand is that you're a danger to your children no matter what, right? You can let them go out in the world and be hurt, or you can overprotect them and hurt them that way. So here's your choice.
It's a weird piece of parenting advice. You're a danger to your children no matter what. But that was 12 Rules for Life. Then came the sequel, 12 More Rules for Life. Isn't that wild?
Clean up your room.
Hey, how did he come up with that? Clean up your room. Wolf Spider 161, thank you.
You can make your children competent and courageous, or you can make them safe. But you can't make them safe because life isn't safe. So if you sacrifice their courage and competence on the altar of safety, then you disarm them completely. And all they can do is pray to be protected.
So in the very act...
Okay, I don't have kids, but I can say unequivocally, that is batshit advice. Like, what the ever-loving fuck? Just, like, do you want, like, Cain and Abel fucking biblical levels of, like... Tests, they must be tested before me. It's the only way. Like, what the fuck?
I am your god, Jordan Peterson, and you will please me with combat. All children in a 5-mile radius must enter the play dome until only 1 child exits.
Trying to do the right thing by them, although often with a selfish motive.
Right.
Often with a selfish motive. We strip away the tools and the equipment, the understanding.
Also, hey, children always deserve to do better than their parents did. It is your job, if you are a parent, to give your child every opportunity, every chance, every bit of love and affection that you have for them. Don't hold it back because you think it'll toughen them up. Don't say, well, I had a tough time, so that's just how it is for my kid. No. If you're going to have children, you need to be prepared to give them a life that is better than yours, and not be angry at them when they get a little older and they try to make things even better than that because that's their job, right? Is to push society forward, right? The progress of society is generally considered a good thing. So I think parents should be helping with the progress in society, since their whole job is to raise children. As a parent, that is your job, to raise your child or children.
Really need to make life work.
Well, that's the Oedipal mother, right? That was Freud's great discovery of the dark mother. And the dark mother is the person.
The dark mother.
The now debunked scientist Sigmund Freud discovered the truth about humans. Inside of us, we house a creature called the Dark Mother. And you have to defeat her in single combat in order to achieve your true form.
For like 4 minutes. This is halfway done. He couldn't resist. Well, of course, the evil demonic dark mother, comes in the serpent of chaos, the brush of the pubic hair of my grandmother.
In Hansel and Gretel. Gingerbread house.
I completely fucking forgot that Jordan Peterson had an incredibly traumatic event as a child, and that has colored the rest of his
How
worldview.
seriously he takes fables.
Chaos!
Interviewed by Joe Rogan or something. Joe Rogan's just there. He's like, "That's crazy, man. Where'd you come up with this?"
Shadow, you're being crazy. You can't control chaos. The chaos will control you. Jordan, you don't understand. I have to use the Chaos Emeralds to save my boyfriend, Sonic. No. Shadow. Cracking up at my own bits.
Well, we have to think about this. What did we learn? What did we learn from Hansel and Gretel? What did we learn from children eating a house made of candy, then being cooked alive?
He said, okay, look, I know, Jordan Peterson is a person, and you should respect all people so long as they respect you, or what the fuck ever. So I'm gonna throw some shade at Jordan Peterson because he's actively attacking trans people. This motherfucker looks and sounds like a broken Muppet. He looks like a Freddy Fazbear's Muppet.
To live in a gingerbread house. Crazy. That's crazy, dog. Damn.
House of candy. Wow. Who could want anything better? What lives inside the house of candy? The witch that wants to fatten you up and
The point of that fucking story was don't talk to strangers, you fucking obtuse moron! Holy shit! It wasn't that the world is all full of sweets but dark on the inside. It was literally, don't talk to strangers. The Dragon of Chaos created a house of candy.
He's doing the bit that I was just doing. Holy shit. What lies inside the witch that is looking to fatten you up?
The darkness that lies at the center of all men's hearts.
Talks about the witch.
cautionary tale about overprotective
Oh my god, he's stealing my bit.
overprotective mothers, about the overprotective feminine. It's like the psychoanalyst.
The overprotective.
Oh, here we go. Jordan Peterson hates women. Here we go. Every single thing he does, he talks about how much women suck.
Feminine.
Said the good mother.
Why do you hate women so much? God damn it, Jordan. I don't understand it. The overprotective feminine. Like, it always comes back to this shit.
Necessarily fails. That's such a brilliant phrase. It's like you can't as your child matures, you have to fail more and more as a mother, right? Until by the time you're 30, your child's 30, let's say, 25 for that matter, you're not their mother anymore. I mean, obviously you are, but the relationship has hit something like quasi-peer status. Not entirely, obviously, but the child's independent, able to stand up on their own 2 feet and take on the world.
So now we see this thing, a university student runs into some difficulties with study or whatever, and brings their parents in to talk to the faculty.
Yeah, or they go off and color. I mean, when I went to Queen's University a week ago, and there was a lot of noise and horror around that, you know, the people who were decrying my visit set up coloring book stations so that people could be comforted because, you know, the evil professor was coming to talk.
God forbid people enjoy things, Jordan. Oh no! Uh-oh! Humans like to color as a comforting thing because something bad is happening, and oftentimes when something bad happens, we seek the comfort of that which is familiar and oftentimes childlike. It's psychological. It's a safe space so you can feel safe from a thing that is literally attacking you.
It's like, and you know,
Oh, not literally, figuratively. Attacking you with words.
as a clinician, and Haidt knows this as well, and all the clinicians worth their salt know this, the worst thing you can do for someone who's anxious is overprotect them. It makes them worse. The clinical literature on that is crystal clear. What you do for people.
Okay, yes, eventually someone with who is anxious will have to face the thing that makes them feel anxious in order to potentially overcome that anxiety. Unless, of course, the anxiety disorder is genetically inherited from the parent, which is, medically speaking, usually what happens, Jordan. You can't fix that. You can treat it, but you can't cure it. The idea that there is a cure for these things is insane. Like, if he forced you to face every single one of your fears, that you would somehow come out as a perfect individual. Like, I'm not going to talk about the things that I have anxiety about and the things that I am dealing with, right? Because I've been through a lot this past year. And a lot of bad things have happened. And if I sat down in a room with Jordan Peterson and he tried to make me face my fears, my brain would shut down. That's not the treatment that you do. You don't cold turkey push someone into a stressful situation to trial by fire them into being healthy. That's how people break.
Who are hyper anxious is
Also, I don't think he sees patients anymore. I don't think he's allowed to see patients anymore.
increasingly threatening situations. That cures them. It's exactly the opposite of what all the mental health professionals, and I use that term extraordinarily lightly, are trying to do to produce safe spaces on the university campus. Like, if a
I don't think the safe spaces or the alleged coloring program that took place, I don't know if that's true, but even if I was to take you at your word here, I don't think those are in place specifically as a form of therapy for the mere suggestion of your presence. I don't think that's a thing. Like, that's not why, quote, safe spaces exist. It's not like this is to cure people of their apparent phobia of Jordan Peterson. Oh God, he's coming. Quickly, let me draw.
if a space needs to be defined as safe, you can be sure that
Catherine,
one
get the coloring book. Jordan has breached the south wall.
Safe spaces on university campuses typically are for marginalized communities that don't feel welcome in other areas of that campus. Historically, it was usually, members of a black community, a queer community who were banding together to be like, hey, by by the way, we don't feel represented, broadly speaking, by the majority of the other people who are on this university campus. So can we just have an area that we can go to where we know everyone else is queer, where we know everyone here is either gay, lesbian, asexual, doesn't matter, and then that is going to be a safe space where we can basically talk about this kind of shit and not worry about people making fun of us, calling us F slurs, all that kind of stuff. That's what they were historically and kind of still are today, even though there's a lot more welcoming environment. It's not about fucking exposure therapy. It's not about like well, we have to do this. If we don't do this, we will not be able to maintain our own mental health at this exact moment. It's not therapy. It's certainly not therapy. You should know that.
Jordan, this has been fascinating. Let me pay you a compliment. In some ways, I think
This has been all right. You are a genius. Let me tell you a little bit more about why you're so great.
the most valuable thing you can do for us is to model the courage to speak your mind. You do it forcefully, you do it courageously, you do it compassionately, because the reality is...
Well, can I just say soy, that very soy of you, sir. Thank you for the soy.
You only have to spend a bit of time with you to realize...
Holy shit!
You actually
Oh my god!
especially about...
Oh, I'm so glad we're watching this video, chat. This is
And especially
this
for
is
our young men,
good
because we
stuff.
know boys model
Good stuff.
themselves on men who they respect.
Oh
They're doing a
god,
great
the
job of
spam
modelling
bots are back.
courage in the face of fire.
Well, there's something I'd like to say, maybe in closing, about courage. People say that to me, and I don't think it's exactly right. There's a line in the Old Testament: "The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom," and I think it's more like that. It's not that I'm courageous; it's that I'm afraid of the right things. So when I made my videos, it wasn't like...
Jordan, what if God isn't? What if God? What if no God then? Where's your moral grounding then, Jordan? Nowhere, it's up in smoke. Because you based your moral grounding on a book that's older than you, or me, or your mom, or your dad, or anyone. What if the person who wrote it wrote a fucking fairy tale? What if it's an epic? What if the Bible turns out to be like the Epic of Gilgamesh, or some shit?
that didn't make me nervous. But
Thanks, Tigwig. Tigwig banned me instead of the stepbot. You banned me for my own chat. Man, this was a coup. It was a coup all along. God damn.
I was less nervous about going back to bed and not saying what I had to say.
You would do this on my last stream before I go on vacation. Good job. Good job.
Oh,
My
the
chat
sub goal
rebels
didn't
against me.
update.
I knew it.
Than I was about making the videos, because I know where this is going. I don't want to go there. And so it's not so much courage, it's that it's a matter of it's less risky to say something than to remain silent when you know there's something to be said. I know that to be the case.
Man, Twitch Chat Classic loves this shit. Look at it. Base mods, Viva Revolution. Damn, son. Rise.
And so lots of times
never
in
knew.
life, it's like...
Oh, I wish I
Thank
could
you.
get a website.
that's going to shield you from risk. You get to pick this risk, or you get to pick this risk. And I think I picked the lesser risk. And that might be wise, but I'm not so sure it's courageous.
That was ridiculous. That was like utterly absurd. So to, I guess, compress everything we just saw, you can't have more than 6 children, because if you do, they will become unruly and they will raise themselves like feral wolves. You can't have a small amount of children, because if you do, you will overprotect them and coddle them.
Clean up your room.
I guess the magic number is 3. Was that it? Was 3 basically the perfect amount of children to have? That's kind of where we landed. And then the rest of it was just like, basically, I don't know. How much praise can we lavish upon you? JLP has 2 kids. Oh, damn. He's not living by his own methodology. You got to get to work. Jordan, got to make some more babies. You got to scrum it. Do you enjoy the surfs, but prefer
All
not
right.
to have to...
That was the Surfs TV. Thank you so much for coming out, chat. You know, I've been streaming for about 4 hours now. it was really nice getting to go over and visit Cammy's Cafe, on Cammy's stream. It was nice. So maybe I can do it next Friday. Maybe I stream a little earlier and then we go to Cammy's afterward. Alright. Stop. Let's see. Who's streaming? Who's streaming right now? Who could use it? Oh, this is my friend. Super Yoshi 141. Playing Rumbleverse. I am going to... Where is it? Host his channel. Then I am going to... How do I raid? Alright. I'm going to stop streaming from this end, and it should continue to host his stream. So enjoy some Super Yoshi gaming content. Have a great rest of your day. And remember, don't forget, drink your water, brush your teeth, take your medicine, eat a good meal, get a good night's sleep.